Silverdome, 5 minutes, riders warming up. So we're back with the action in 5 minutes, heat 1 of the 2021 wheel race. First up, we've got 2 heats for the women, and we have got first 10 to the final. So the judges have got a fair bit of work to do, but we've got Wim up there in the photo finish camera. So we'll be able to give you the top 10. So there'll be 20 in the final for the women. And in the men, we've got the first 5 into the final. We've got 4 heats for the men. Unfortunately, the program, because of the COVID once again this year, there's been quite a few scratchings, and you would have noticed that a regular rider to Tasmania, Stephen Hall from Western Australia, has always entertained the crowd here in Tasmania. Stephen Hall could have made it to Tasmania, but if he had went back, he would have had to stay in quarantine for 14 days. So, unfortunately, we are missing quite a contingent of riders from Western Australia this year. Last year was the New South Wales riders that couldn't get to Tasmania. This year it's the Western Australians. So hopefully in 2022 everyone can come to Tassie. I want to come back here with my wife for another holiday because Tasmania is my second home. I've been coming here since 2005 with the National Road Series when Sean Higginson won the Tour of Tasmania back in 2005. So I do call Tasmania my second home, and it's always great to come back here. It is a mini New Zealand. I love New Zealand, but I also love Tasmania.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start, so we are calling for our first heat. Before I do that, attention riders and handlers. Attention riders and handlers. The call will, of course, remain the same. It will be riders' attention, and then the gun will start the event. The starting position for the handler is to the side of the rider, and it is a release. Now, a release is not a push. That is a release. Attention handlers and riders again. Should there be two riders off the same mark in the heat, one rider will be behind the mark and one rider will be in front of the mark. So it will be behind the mark and in front of the mark. One forward and back. That includes our scratch riders. It is up to you to determine who is forward and who is back, but no riders will be too high on the track in this event. So I hope that is clear. Again, riders and handlers, it is a release start and you are standing to the side. We do ask the handlers to immediately move away from the apron after the start, and that is directly from the Chief Commissaire. Riders to your marks. We are calling now for our first heat, which should be Alex Manley of 0 metres, Georgia Baker of 0 metres, Lauren Perry of 40, Chloe Moran of 60, Sophie Edwards of 60, Shannon McCurley of 60. Of 210 will be Heather May, Belinda Bailey, Amelie Langham, and Penny May, and of 250 will be Suzanne State and Amy Wright of 250. To clarify the starting marks when two riders are on the same mark, the lower number will start behind, the higher number will start in front. So, if, for example, here, for 210, we've got Heather May will be the backmost rider. In front of Heather will be Belinda Bailey. And then in front will be Amala Langham, who is also of 210. She will be in front of 210. And Penny May will be in front of her. Yep, so there are two people at the about the 50-60 metre mark that do require handlers. Please understand that not everybody comes with a handler. It is advisable to organise your handler before the start. It's not going to be a surprise that you're in this wheel race. So I'm still looking for one handler to, you don't have to be special to be a handler, and remembering it is a release start, and we've got it. We've got them there now. So in this heat, there are 12 riders taking the start, 10 will qualify for the Launceston Some flags are up. We'll wait for the green flag and the nod from the Chief Commissaire. So 10 will qualify, 2 will miss out. We are good for a start. Riders, attention! Underway for the wheel race qualifier for the women, and it is the first rider coming through is Amy Wright, followed by Suzanne State. They've got 6 laps to go. Now we get Penny May, Amelia, Belinda Bendigo Bailey, Heather May missing in this one. We go back a long way back. Coming through is the gruppetto of Shannon, Sophie and Moran, Lauren Perry right in there in the mix at the moment. But the 2 back markers, Georgia Baker and Alex Manley, with a lot of work to do. But 10 will go through, Ian.
Yeah, 10 to go through, and as Susan Straits that swings up the track, Amy Wright, who won a wheel race here on this home track a few years ago. Then further back to Heather May, that's Belinda Bailey. Bendigo Bailey, as Paul Kraft has called her. Amalia Langham from City of Burnie. I tell you what, she hasn't made contact. She's in no man's there. But the leader's out of the front straight with 4 laps to go. Let's look at the back market. Alex Manley about to make contact with the other 4 riders. The rider here in no man's land is the rider there of Penny May.
The back markers have formed a gruppetto of 6, but your leaders are Susan State and Amy Wright. They're going to try and steal this one away. We've only 3 laps to go. Give them some encouragement now. They go. Bendigo Valley in no man's land. Heather May starting to go backwards now, but the gruppetto, the 6 riders, they're all together. Alex Manley lying in there, and you see Shannon McCurley from the points race. The back markers, they're going to make it through to the final, but who's going to win this heat?
Yes, and Penny May is the first rider to Amalia Langham and Heather May. But out in straight, she's a Masters rider, but she's a talent. That's Susan Straight, Amy Wright, a previous wheel race in her. Then further back to Belinda Bailey. But look at Georgie Baker. She has got on her wheel. She swings up now. Shannon McCurley is about to get to the rider there of Belinda Bailey. But I think they're all safe except for the 2 May sisters. I think Heather, the leaders, they come down to get the bell. Can they take out the first lead? Susan Straight and also Amy Wright.
285 minutes to travel. Can they hold out the power? Can they hold out the speed? They're almost there. The rider of Amy Wright takes the lead. Now I remind you, this is a heat. The heat is for show. The final's for dough. Who's going to win this one? And it's going to be Amy Wright, but they all qualify. Amy Wright, Suzanne, qualifiers all the way through. They're all through, 10 into the final. There's the 10th rider, and it's going to be Amelie. Congratulations, well done. You're in the final. Rider 123, Amalia Langham, and she's done it. She is in the final. Tell you what, great ride by the 2 leaders. The heat is for show, the finals for dough. But there's a telling sign they're going to have some company.
Same as yesterday down at Hobart, those 2, of course. They were just caught in the straight, but they used their mark. There was only 2 today, but Susan Straits and Amy Wright off their 250-metre mark have lasted to take our first and second. It's always great to win a heat of a wheel race, and unfortunately the 2 May sisters from South Australia are the 2 riders to miss out.
Interestingly, that they're now related. I like that. Listen, I'm going to point to 2 fingers here. 250-metre mark. Felicity Wilson Heffernan, Emily Walker in this next heat. They have been brilliant. Eugenia O'Rourke, 250. And we've already got the 2 limit riders of Amy Wright and Suzanne Strait into the final. This is going to be interesting if these riders make it as well. Next heat to marshalling. We go back to 190 metres, Lizanne Wilmot. Now she'll be, well, Emma Stevens has been standout today. She's been absolutely amazing. And we've seen the speed of Danica Blinko. So the backmarkers have got a lot of work in this next heat, remembering 10 will make it through, Ian.
I tell you what, also Jessie Sawyer on that mark, the Hobart Wheelers rider. Last year she finished 3rd in the wheel race at Georgetown and in the 1,000-metre. I tell you what, Jessie Sawyer is also a handy addition there. Then you go back, you have got actually 3 people now living in South Australia. The rider from Alice Springs in Ali Anderson off 100, Katharina Chung Orr off 100, Dahlia Haynes, she's from the Midlands Club in Western Australia, but they're now living in South Australia, and the Darwin youngster in Meg Marker off 100. And 2 riders have got to chase 100 metres. That's Maeve Plouffe and Christina Clonan. A big job for those 2 to get up.
This is the hardest heat for the backmarkers, Maeve Plouffe and Christina Clonan. They've got to bide their time. And now I remind you, Christine Clonan's a sprinter. They're not really good at biding their time. They're used to going fast, but if they have 100 metres to make up to get to this next group, oh dear. And there's a number of them. Do the counting again. We've just got to count them up. Three riders. Oddly enough, when you get odd numbers, one heat has to have more than the other. So the first heat had 12. This one had 13. Well, normally, ladies and gentlemen, normally in a wheel race, I try and encourage the crowd to get behind the front, the limit riders, because it is such, but this is a big battle. So please get ready to cheer on Christina Clonan and Maeve Plouffe, your back markers, the scratchies. I think they can do it. They've got to make top 10.
Just going over to see if you got a motor in your bike or what?
Not today. No.
100 metres to make up to the nearest riders. You've got a big job to do, you girls.
Yeah, well, you didn't make it easy for us, but this is what we're given, so we're going to work with it.
Good on you. Christina Clonan, 100 metres out to the markers. Heat men to the marshalling. Heat 1 for the men to the marshalling area. Thank you. Heat 2. We've already got 10 into the final. This is Heat 2, off the limit mark. We've got Felicity Wilson Heffernan, just up from the under-17 category. Janelle Smith there holding Emily Walker. Just riders, attention. On their way in Heat 2 of the 2021. And look at the 2 back markers. They've got a huge job to do from that back mark. Getting away nicely though, the 3 limit markers. Then looking back here, Jessie Sawyer's got this group nicely lined up there with Emma Stevens and also Lizzie Ann Wilmot and also Danica Blinko. Then looking back to the South Australian, that's on the front there was Meg Marcus swinging up, and the 2 back markers, they got into a work. Look at, she'll swing up now, and Maeve Plouffe will take a turn.
It's like a team training camp. The South Australian quartet and the Australian duo, they've got the work to do. The success will come from the front. Their job is to try and hold these 2 out, but they're already halved the distance and they're going to make it up to the South Australian Teens Pursuit team of 2022.
It's Emily Walker on the front. They're going nicely out in front, these riders. The youngster in Felicity Wilson Heffernan also there. And now coming a big turn there was Dianca Blinko, the youngster in the black colours from Queensland. Looking back now, the South Australian train about to be caught there by the two Australians. I tell you what, Maeve Plouffe has got the head up and down. She's starting to suffer, Maeve Plouffe.
Maeve Plouffe didn't look well. She's in trouble. Maeve Plouffe, the scratch rider's in trouble. The leaders are still together. 3 versus 4 versus 6. And one of them's looking sicker than a COVID patient right now. She's in trouble. I think the limit riders are holding him out, but here comes the 180 metre marker rider.
Yeah, they're coming to get 2 to go. Emily Butcher swings up the track. On the front is the youngster. She's just up from under 17. Then further back, doing the big turn there was Emma Stevens. Oh, in a bit of trouble there is Emma Stevens. But Blenko swings up the track. I tell you what, there's 3 to miss out here. 3 to miss out of those 5 riders. So down the back straight, they'll come and get the bell. I tell you what, there's no worries about this. The limit markers, Butcher, get to the front.
Emma Stevens is in trouble now. You can see her dangling, but they're going to get through 3, then the next 2. Emma Stevens in trouble because here comes the South Australian train. Maeve Plouffe still in trouble. 3 to miss out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Lizanne Wilmot's going to win this one. Don't worry about the winner. We're worried about the last 3 riders across the line. It's like an elimination race. In qualified. Oh, 102, and the 2 riders, help me. 102 is eliminated. Maeve Plouffe, we picked it with 4 laps to go. She was looking unwell. Maeve Plouffe is the first to miss out. Then 2 of the South Australians also missed out there, Ian. Oh my Lord, what a heat, what a race, and the final's gonna be better.
She's a crowd pleaser. Lizanne Wilmot, the speed skater, the former speed skater from Brampton, Ontario in Canada. She's with the St George Club up there in New South Wales. She is an excitement machine. Yesterday down at Hobart, we had the scratch race. We had a mystery sprint along the way worth $40. I knew what was going to happen. She went bang, won the $40, saluted the crowd and pulled out. So she is a great, I'll tell you what, and from those front marks, I believe at this stage, early prediction, it's going to be a front markers wheel race win.
Well, they're missing now Maeve Plouffe, and they needed Maeve Plouffe. It's going to be, I don't know who's going to win it. All I know is it's going to be one cracker of a final. I've got to revert back to a statement I made. We're half a lap to travel, and I'm going, Lizanne Wilmot's going to win this, but I don't care. I'm looking at the back because that was where the race was, who wasn't going to qualify. I apologise to Lizanne. Please don't hold that one against me. I said she's going to win it, but that doesn't matter.
Of course, Christina Cronin, you said she was a sprinter because she's come from an endurance background. And of course, once you've had that endurance background, you're still pretty handy there over a longer distance. She's won Madison's over 120 odd laps. So, but Maeve Plouffe, yes, she didn't look comfortable in the ride, I know. And Christina Cronin was the one that was doing a lot of the heavy lifting there, doing the chasing. So I'm not sure if Maeve is not feeling well, but that's unlike Maeve Plouffe to not make the final of the wheel race. Heat 1 of the men coming up now. And ladies and gentlemen, starting on the back mark, he's going for 3 on end. And I tell you what, they got their word cut out here because the first 5 go through to the final. So the back markers have got a fair bit of work to do. Top 5 only, 4 heats, 20 riders in the final.
Yeah, but hey, Ian, you know how when we're going to the women's heats, I said the powers in the limit riders, this track is only 285 metres round. I don't think there's enough distance for some of the riders when you've got the likes of Josh Duffy and Luke Plapp and Jensen Plowright on scratch. There would be riders in the heats that need, and what they've done, they've changed it to allow us to get a limit riders into the race for this one.
Yeah, what they've done, like the old days, they used to have the back markers heat, the middle markers heat, and a front markers heat. So they come to the final, you had an even split. So you didn't just have a scratch race. So with this first heat, we have got riders off the scratch mark. We've got riders on the mark of 80 metres, riders on the mark of 140.
So just looking for the flags. I'll keep an eye on the flags, but Josh Duffy, Luke Platt, Jensen Plowright, Ollie Blendon, Zach Gilmore, the flags are up. Riders, attention! Underway now for Heat 1 in the back markers. That's where the power is. Only 5 to qualify. Your first riders through off 140 metres is Ryan Elliott, William Eves, Byron Davies and Angus Miller. And have a look at that. You see the rider, William Eves, getting very excited. The chasers are coming through. Liam Walsh, Ryan Skilt, Zach Gilmore, Ollie Bladden. But you hear the roar and the ruckus of the scratch group.
Unbelievable. It's Jensen Plowright. They call him the plough. I tell you what, he's digging deep, that's for sure. But out in front, going along nicely, is the boy from Balmoral there. That's number 28 there in Ryan Elliott. Look at the back market. Now Josh Duffy done a big turn. Luke Platt takes up the running with the back market. They're about to get the middle market. But these three out in front, going along nicely. This is the young Ryan Elliott. He's got the big boy from Ipswich on his wheel in Byron Davies.
Byron Davies, a very fast finisher. Anything but the three back markers qualifying will be considered a failure in this. They need all three of them to make the final. And can they do it? The lead rider there, Byron Davies, starting to pull big turns. He's got Eves on his wheel. Going out the back is one of the Queenslanders. The middle markers have got some company now, and they're called the Scratchies.
They're caught the scratchy, but only 5 to go through. They can't sit there and wait to scratch rider. They've got to continue on. But these two out in front, they're going for home. 2 laps to go. Byron Davies along there with young Jack Benji. But here comes Ryan Schilt. He's got Zach Gilmore on his wheel. 5 to go through. They're about to get to the back of the 2 leaders. There's 5. I need 5 of this quality field. They'll come and get the bell. Take it home, Pat.
Okay, here we go. Can the three Scratchies get in? What a ride by Eves. Byron's going for it. He's at the front. Schultz is moving around. There's Josh Duffy. Duffy's going to make no mistakes. He wants in. Luke Platt wants in. And also the rider of Jensen Plowright. They want in. Ladies and gentlemen, your rider, Josh Duffy. Oh. Gilmore misses out. Gilmore, Ian, halfway through that race, I said, anything but all 3 Scratchies qualifying will be considered a failure. Did they do it? Damn right they did it. Ladies and gentlemen, your Scratch riders are in the final.
Yeah, great riding, great cooperation there. They all did big turns and they got up to those markers on the 80-metre mark. But Ollie Bledham, number 11, you'll find he was the 5th rider across the line. So unfortunately, Zach Gilmore will miss out. Oh, what a great first heat that was, ladies and gentlemen. And the 3 back markers, Josh Duffy, Luke Platt, and the plough, Jensen Plowright, they've gone through to the final. Just waiting on the 4th and 5th place getters, but no doubt Ollie Bledham would have been definitely 5th across the line, just edging out the local rider in Zach Gilmore. So 4th place, about to be semaphored up there on the big screen. So the official places were Josh Duffy was 1st, Jensen Plowright 2nd, Luke Platt was there along with Liam Walsh. Number 15 was 4th. Number 15, Liam Walsh, was in 4th place. And 5th place went to Ollie Bledham, number 11. So they were the placings. Official placings were 1, 3, 15 and 11. Josh Duffy, Luke Platt, Jensen Plowright, Ollie Bledham and Liam Walsh. So we've got 3 scratch riders and 2 on 80 metres at this stage. Heat 2 coming up on the back mark. We have got number 4, Graham Frisley from the mainland, James Moriarty from Queensland, and Matthew Richardson, the Tokyo Olympian from Western Australia, off 30. On 50 metres, the time trial specialist from New South Wales, Thomas Cornish. Riders, attention! On their way in Heat 2, another 5 to go through to the final. We'll look for the outmarkers here. It's going to be Dalton Stretton, who's ridden very well, along with Connor Rowley. So it's Dalton Stretton, the lead out from Connor Rowley. Also there'll be Hamish McKenzie, and the other rider in that group is Noah Blenheim, the youngster. So them 4 have got away. So it looks like we've only got 3 to miss out, 3 to miss out. So these front markers have got to keep the pedal down to make stop the back markers don't get up. So they're doing their big turns out in front. Connor Rowley, who Irish. Then further back then on as well as the youngster in Noah Blenheim. As they come out of the straight with 5 to go and the back markers are looking good.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a team's pursuit. It looks like this team's getting caught by that team at the moment. Let's hope it's not the Olympics and the teams aren't England, because you know what can happen there. Our 4 riders come through with 4 laps to go. It could be 1 lap to go. They're going to catch on the back markers. Now, this is what the scratchies want. They want the 80-metre and 50-metre mark riders in this field, and that looks like their wish is going to come true.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And the back markers here on the front here, they're about to be collared. So they're going to try to get onto a wheel, because 5 to go through, but the 4 at the back, they look comfortable to go through. So only 1 more rider, one would suggest. But I tell you what, these ones down in front, oh, he swung up there. Oh, nearly a fall down the back straight. They've got him. Connor Rowley now leads with 2 laps to go, but they've got these out markers. Graham Frisley on his wheel as the West Australian, and Matthew Richardson. Then further back to Thomas Cornish, that is.
Yeah, Connor really, he did the right thing. He looked for the wheel and he's got back there, and now he's on the train. It's all about getting the wheels. It's all about getting the bell, and the top 5 in, they've eased up.
Top 5, Dalton Stretton, what can he do? Number 22, but around the outside, 5 to go through. This is a charge down the back straight. 5 down the back straight is Thomas Cornish that leads out. Matthew Richardson there. Down on the inside will be Graham Frisley. 5 to go through, 5 to go. Oh, yes, Dalton Stretton got in. The one to miss out there is going to be the rider of Hamish McKenzie, but that was a good, that's going to help the back markers in the final. But Thomas Cornish up there with Matthew Richardson, along with Graham Frisley, James Moriarty and Dalton Stretton will be the 5 to get through to Heat 2.
I tell you what, it's looking awfully heavy in the back end, isn't it? It's bottom end. It's a little bit like my wife, a little bit heavy in the back end, but she's all right. It's okay.
What's your wife's phone number? I'm about to give her a call.
No, what happened, what I say in Tasmania stays in Tasmania. I tell you, the back end is looking good, but we kind of knew that. We knew that that was going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the next heat, and it is by design, and I'm complimenting the Launceston club here in what a great idea to alter what was the original program to ensure that the final does get some limit riders in here. We're going to call this, we're not the middle markers, because our middle markers were pretty much in that race, but this one has Heat 3. So Jack Menzies is going to be the back marker of 140, with Michael Shipley as well. So they're off 140. Then we go forward a little bit to Brett Schnitzling, and then Josh Hannigan. I don't think he's a starter. Aaron Jones is here. Shane Hendren also involved in a fall. We'll find out. Aaron Midgley, Simon Price. How clever is that rider? And Flynn. I've been impressed with Flynn when he uses his weapons in the right area. He fires a good bullet, I'll tell you. Flynn is very, very fast when he wants to be. We're going to take 5 more, and these are the outer limit markers, not the full limit markers.
If these 2 riders of 190 metres in Josh Hannigan and Aaron Jones can bridge across to Aaron Ridgely, Simon Price and Flynn Ritzma, that makes 5. So it's going to make it hard for Jack Menzies, Michael Shipley and Brett Schillington. But we just got to wait and see. Heat 3 coming up. And there's the results of Heat 2 going up on the board. Dalton Stretton was the final qualifier. So riders coming to their marks for Heat 3. 5 to go through. And then we've got the front markers there where you'll find Campbell Palmer will be the front marker. Last year's Burnie Wheel Race winner off 200. Hayden Vanderpoog also from the City of Burnie off 200. Oscar Varney off 210. Jack Hadley off 250 metres, thank you very much. And he's got good company in Paul Butler, who's riding well. And I'll tell you what, they've got and then out to 270, the Masters riders, Julia Clayton, Ross Jenkins, Matthew Schmidt, Nigel Dalton and Brendan Simpson-Kitt. But I tell you what, Jack Hadley off 250, if he can get some support out the front there.
He'll need a... Look, well, you know it, I know it, but he is I can't say the incorrect political statement, but he is the great hope of our last bastion. Can he hold him out? It's possible, but it's very unlikely. But ladies and gentlemen, this is heat 3. They're just adjusting.
Chief Commissary, a warning to the handlers. If there's any push, it'll be a false start. So it's just a matter of holding the riders. So apparently, if they're on the lookout for anyone that's giving a rider a push, the race will be stopped and there'll be a restart. So take that advice from the Chief Commissary, Graham Cure. No pushing. And a penalty as well.
So you see 7 on the board. Well, that's not really true because these guys pretty much 6 laps to go. The green is up. Riders, attention! They're underway. It is the prerogative of the starter to hold as long as he wishes, and our 3 riders out in front. There's Pricey in there. He knows how to ride this. Flynn on the back as well. The next 2 come through, and they're separating a bit, so the back markers have got a real shot at this, including Michael Shipley. They're separated, though. They should get up there, but they've only got 5 laps to do it in now.
They certainly haven't. There's 3 riders going to miss out of it. Simon Price, he's on the front there with the youngster in Flynn Ritzma. Also, they're making up ground as Josh Hannigan, and he's got there Aaron Jones on his wheel. Michael Shipley, the paracyclist, he swings up the track from the back. There's still 3 groups on the track, though, as they come around this time to get 4 laps to go, but 3 out in front. Aaron Midgley from the Hobart wheel, Simon Price on his wheel, Flynn Ritzma there. They're trying to get across to him there as Josh Hannigan and also Aaron Jones. On the front, they're doing the big turn now as the rider there of Shillington from West Australia.
Surprisingly, your limit riders are riding better than anyone else. They've really worked out their team tactics here to try and get the 3 limit riders into this. And Pricey's got them working. Flynn's doing his turn. The middle markers are split up here, and the back markers are trying to get across, but it is Menzies. Menzies going, come on, guys, I need more firepower, and he's starting to break them up now, so he's pulling away.
Yes, and it's Aaron Jones, AJ. He's the one who's put the white flag up. They'll come and get 2 to go. But out the front, Simon Price, Flynn Ritzma, Aaron Midgley. Riding across to him there is Josh Hannigan. And now it's Jack Menzies on the burst as well. So now we've got 5 out in front. Also, they're coming to it, the paracyclist in Michael Chipley. So we're down to 6. So 1 more rider to miss out here. They'll get the bell this time in Heat 3.
Hannigan's made a great move over the top, but have a look at Mackenzie. Mackenzie, the local boy, he's trying to get around, and he looks the best of the rest. Can he do it? Hold the phone. Michael Shipley looks over his shoulder. Is he being coy there? He's backed off. We've got our 5. Hadley in trouble. Price is going to make it. Price is going to make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, Hadley. Sorry, it was Aaron, was it? Aaron just misses out. Pricey, how clever is he? He knew how to ride that, and he rode it well. But the strongest rider, but took a lot of work. The rider of Mackenzie, Jack, had a lot of work to do.
Hamish Mackenzie's a young fella that really burst onto the scenes over here in Tasmania as a junior rider. And I'll tell you what, Hamish Mackenzie must be a misspelling. Oh, Jack Menzies, that's the rider you're looking at there, Jack Menzies. But that was Hamish Mackenzie that took out that heat. Jack Menzies, sorry. Jack Menzies, what am I talking about? You were correct there, Paul. It's only day 2 of the Christmas Carnival, but it was Jack Menzies that went away to take out Heat 3. I tell you what, the ride there of Michael Shipley, the paracyclist from Queensland, was also a good ride, number 31. Just waiting on the final placings to come up on the scoreboard. But missing out is Aaron Misley. The Hobart Wheelers rider will miss out Aaron Misley. Flynn Ritzmer got through. Simon Price got through. There's no doubt about that. AJ, he put the white flag up. Final heat coming up shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of little things as we come in. You may have a look at the screens that are on display. That is the live live stream going out to the World Wide Web. So you can tell your friends to tune in, and you can find it quite easily on the Facebook page of TasCarnivals. But ladies and gentlemen, this heat, this is our limit heat. And for me, and hopefully for you, my utmost respect goes to these riders. For the backmarkers, the scratchies, Josh Duffy, Luke Plapp and Jensen Plowright, 2 kilometres represents 1% of their weekly training. Some of these riders, it's about 50% of their weekly training. For this 2Ks, even though they're off scratch, the scratch riders spend less time on the bike for this race than these riders do. And although there are only 3 riders off scratch, their combined weight probably equals one of those riders out there, possibly. They've got a lot more hair on their heads too as well, so it is one of them. But we have a great hope in this one, and we're talking about Jack. How good is he?
Riders, attention. So some of the masters riding, getting away very slowly from the start here. And look at Jack Hadley. He said, I'm not waiting for these limit riders. I'm on the booth. Paul Butler, he's the one trying to go around them as well. Oscar Varney doing a big job there with Hayden van der Ploeg as I go down the back straight. But Jack Hadley, he's not going to wait for anyone. He's going to try to pursue this Jack Hadley. He'll come and get 5 laps to go. I tell you what, he hasn't, he looks over the shoulder. Jack, there's nowhere near Jack. He's got a time trial. Paul Butler, look at young Hayden van der Ploeg, just up from the under-17s, goes around the outside as well. He's got good company there, though, in Campbell Palmer. Oscar Varney there as well, but coming down the front straight, 4 laps to go. Did he go too soon, Paul?
Well, the answer is yes, but can he do that? Yes. Listen, I'm not sure if he knows how the tactics of a wheel race go. Somebody who does know, apparently Campbell Palmer can ride a wheel race, apparently. Now we're seeing about Jack. Look, I'm not going to bet against him, that's for sure, because this guy has some stick, he has some power, and he has some speed. He's still riding out with 3 laps to go.
Looking over the shoulder, Hayden van der Ploeg has got there, that Bernie wheel race winner from last year, the youngster in Campbell Palmer, but he's still going strongly. Every time they look like catch him, he goes into another gear, Jack Hadley. Oscar Varney in the black colours on the front. Paul Butler, he's looking comfortable there in the budget forklifts. He's the first one out of Jack Hadley. 2 laps to go. Then further back, Hayden van der Ploeg, Campbell Palmer, Oscar Varney, then further back to Paul Butler. I think they might be the 5 that go through, but Jack Hadley, I tell you what, they're not going to get to him. He'll come around and get the bell. On the front, he's the rider of Hayden van der Ploeg or Campbell Palmer. The bell sounds like this young fellow, he doesn't know how to ride a bike, but I tell you what, he's very, very good.
He's going to win it. He's going to win it, and these 4 are going to qualify. Butler's happy with that. You can see it, ladies and gentlemen, the great hope of the wheel race, and we're putting our houses on him. Can he hold him out? Jack Hadley, from woe to go, takes it out. There we go. And Butler comes in and says, I'll take second, thank you. Qualified, top 5 into the final. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have our 20 riders for the final. 5 riders and a lot of back markers. We've got our limit riders. We've got our middle markers. It's going to be a great race. Oh, and we've got some talking to do to Jack, I reckon.
I can give you the feel for the final, actually, Paul. I tell you what, we start from the limit. If we start from the limit riders, if we usually introduce riders, it'll be number 56, Paul Butler off 250. Number 46, Jack Hadley off 250. Number 50, Flynn Ritzmer off 240. Number 49, Simon Price off 240. Number 43, Oscar Varney off 210. Number 42, Hayden van der Ploeg off 200. Number 40, the Bernie wheel race winner from last year, Campbell Palmer off 200. Josh Hannigan off 190, Michael Shipley off 140, Jack Menzies off 140, Dalton Stretton in no man's land on 120 metres, Liam Walsh from Queensland off 80 along with Ollie Blennon, the West Australian. The rider on 50 metres is number 9, Thomas Cornish. 3 riders on 30 metres. Number 7, Matthew Richardson. Number 5, James Moriarty. Number 4, Graham Frisley. And the 3 riders on scratch. Number 1, Josh Duffy. Number 3, Lucas Plapp. And number 6, Jensen Plowright. So if you look at that field there, I tell you what, you've got the middle markers and then you've got the back markers. So the back markers, first of all, their first job is get to the 30, then to the 80 metre markers. And then we're looking at, say, the 140 metre riders trying to get to the front riders. So an interesting wheel race coming up, Paul.
Can't wait. And added to it, I really can't wait for the women's wheel race as well. I can't, look, I tell you, I believe the power's here at the back, but I can't pick a winner. I can't pick a winner out of them. It's got to be raced. I'm looking forward to seeing how Jack approaches the final. But the women's race, I can't say the back markers are going to get up or the limit riders are going to stay away, because that is in the balance. That one is in the balance. Yesterday at Hobart, it wasn't till the last 10 metres that Lauren Perry got over the top of Felicity and Suzanne, and she made it over the top and won the race. This one's going down to the wire as well.
Handy wheel race to win. 2,000 in the back pocket for the winner, 2,000 to the winner, 800 for second, 400 for third, 200 for fourth, and 100 for fifth. Makes it a $3,700 wheel race. So that is the men's wheel race, and of course the women's wheel race, 2,000 also. Equal prize money for the men and women, so that's great to see. So 2 magnificent wheel race finals coming up. Riders, attention. Turning our attention now to a wheel race for the juniors. I've lost the event on my program here. This is young Rory Stretton that leads out off her limit mark. Then further back then to Noah Blaisley, and the back marker, this young fellow, he's won everything at the Carnivals except the Hobart wheel race, where the Brunswick rider, George Mulhern, he's from the South Coast Club. He started off 20 metres, did Luke Schmidt. The limit marker was on 180 metres. That's Rory Stretton. She comes down the front straight with 2 to go. She wants a bit of encouragement. Rory Stretton, then further back here to Noah Blaisley. And where's the back marker? He's got a huge job to do with 2 laps to go. This is the rider here of Luke Schmidt. Look at him go. He's got the black colours on. I thought red goes faster, but black goes okay as well. They'll come and get the bell. First 3 riders, they'll all get the prize money. Up on the top, then she's about to be caught here, Rory Stretton, but she'll fight on. She never stops. Rory Stretton about to be joined there by Noah Blaisley. And where's the back marker? Yes, he's not out of it yet. He's starting to charge home from his mark here of 20 metres. They get the bell. It's a Noah Blaisley on the move. Then further back to Rory Stretton. And look at the youngster. He's come back here from the 20 metre mark. Can he go up and win it? The wheel race, he was second down there at the Hobart, and he could add this wheel race in Launceston too. He's got it, but he's fighting back quickly out in front there as Noah Blaisley. Blaisley hasn't been caught yet. Noah Blaisley, then further Luke Smith. Smith on the outside, Blaisley on the inside, Lucas Smith, and the back marker's got up. What a great ride there by Luke Smith to take it out there from the South Coast Club off 20 metres, riding off 100 metres, Noah Blaisley, and a great ride there by young Rory Stretton to get up for third. That's the under 13 wheel race for 2021 here at the Silverdome. Number 25, and the handler, probably his dad, I think, Noah Blaisley, and his father, or his handler, to see the Chief Commissaire here in the front straight. So Noah and your handler, I think it might have been your dad, but if you could bring the handler in to see the Chief Commissaire. But there's the winner. What a great ride, this young fellow, under 13s. Luke Schmidt. I know I'm not pronouncing the name right. He did tell me how to say it, but the handler and also Noah to go across and see the Chief Commissaire. Young Noah, if you wouldn't mind. Just over here. He's not going to put you in the naughty corner, I don't think.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next event on your program is event number 33, the under-15s wheel race. This event is over 7 laps. So it is the full distance. So the back marker is Thomas Blazey, and he's got a bit of a gap, around about 100 plus metres to make up, 140 metres, Ian.
Over 7 laps. I know what he did yesterday down at Hobart, but I tell you what, a 2,000 metre wheel race, if you can make up that distance, the limit marker is on 260 metres.
Flags in the air. Riders, attention. Underway in the 15s wheel race, 7 laps, so it's 6 to go now. We've got Simeon Albie doing a great job. Have a look at Sybil moving very fast. Charlie and Chase doing the best jobs they can. The back marker's got a lot of work. Mitchell Streeton straight up there, and Lucy Oliver as well. But look at Thomas Blazey. He's got a lot of work to do. I think he can do it. He lapped the field in the points race. Now he's just got to put his head down and go, go, go.
This will be a great ride here at the Silverdome if he can get up here. But out the front, going on nicely, is the young McKee. Then further back, doing a good job there is Lucy Oliver on the front. She swings up now to let Albie Clark do. Oh, look at the ride, young Mitchell Stretton. He's got the Chase Haynes in the black colour. And the back marker here, just in nice tempo. He's got the mouth open, but I tell you what, he's making up some ground. He's still got plenty of time to do it. But out in front, going on nicely, is Simone McKee.
Simeon doing a great job. He leads the way. 2 trying to get across to him, and they may make it up there, including Albie. But the back marker, he's halved the distance so far, but he's got a lot more work to do. Can he get there? He's looking a little tired. His head's bobbing up and down. I think you're right. Simeon's doing a great job out in front as he comes through, and he's got some help now.
Yes, Simeon swings up the track, but there's a group, if they can work together out in front here, but Lucy is doing a good job. Also their rider, Albie Clark. I think he might have gone there, Simeon. Then further back, the rider there over Charlie Hannigan. Then further back to Mitchell Stretton and the West Australian Chase Haynes. And here comes the back marker with 3 laps to go. He's starting to wobble, but I tell you what, it's going to be a big ride. I tell you what, young Hannigan's looking nice there. Charlie Hannigan, number 5. I like the look of him.
Lucy looks fantastic. She allows Albie to come through. Almost a collision there. 2 laps to go. They're getting tired. The back marker's still trying to get there. But I tell you, who's looking very, very good is Lucy as she's right onto the wheel. Look at Albie. Albie's trying to get some work at a lap and a half to travel. Can he work it out? They can't mess around because the back markers are still coming, and it's Lucy leading the way.
No, it's definitely between these 2 out in front. I thought Hannigan might have, but Charlie might have been the one. But Lucy Oliver out in front, looking over his shoulder, Albie Clark. But can a female win the under-15 wheel race? Albie Clark gets a run off the bank. Then further back to Charlie Hannigan. Lucy, she gets out of the saddle. And this is a great go down the back straight. These 2 youngsters on the inside. It is the youngster in Lucy Oliver. She's holding plenty. Lucy Oliver, I think she's got enough in hand. Lucy Oliver, Lucy Oliver, Lucy Oliver. Yes, Lucy Oliver. Took it out there from Albie Clark. Getting up for 3rd there would have been Chase Haynes. Further back to Mitchell Stretton. And what a great ride by the back marker in Thomas Blazey, the flash home late. Lucy Oliver, I tell you what, she was challenged, but she fought on and she's taken out the under-15 wheel race for 2021. Well done to Lucy.
Congratulations, Albie Clark. He did everything right. He swung up at a lap and a half, got the wheel, backed off the wheel, took a challenge to Lucy, but Lucy dug deep. And your wheel race winner for 2021, Lucy Oliver.
I'm over here with Lucy. I'll tell you what a great rider in the under-15 wheel race. Is that your first wheel race victory ever?
No.
Which other wheel race have you won, Lucy? Devonport wheel race. I tell you what, did you think you had that one, or did you think Elvie was going to get to you?
Right at the end, I thought he might get me, but...
You happy with your ride, though? Well done, Lucy Oliver, ladies and gentlemen. The under-15, the girl beat the boys in the under-15 wheel race. They're lining up now for the under-17, the back marker. Alec Eves off 10 metres, but right out the front of 270, we've got Bethany Boyd and Sophie Brotherton.
So it is a big lead at 270 metres. We go way back on the track to Nicholas Broxton at the back with Dylan Rogers, but Alex Eves is your back marker. He was so strong earlier on. Had a bit of a yip in the elimination. Flags are in the air. Riders, attention. So underway again. Bethany Boyd leads the way with Sophie on the wheel there. Ava trying to get up to him. We've got a good group leading out here. Mika and Nicholas Albert as well. The back markers, he's got no friends at the moment. He's trying to get someone. Alex Eves trying to get up there.
Yes, he's got 40 metres to get across to Nicholas Broxton and Lachlan Oliver. He's got a big job to do, Alex Eves, but he's on the chart. But down the front straight, we've got 5 laps to go and going on nicely. Sophie Brotherton on her wheel and swinging up there is Mika Derrico. She's won many a wheel race here at junior levels at Mika Derrico. This group out in front going nicely. We've got some traces there, of course, in Lachlan Oliver. He's got for company there in Nicholas Broxton and Alex Eves. He's on the chart. He's trying to get across to these other two. Jonas Shelvington out there also looking good.
With 4 laps to go for the leaders, they've got a good group. Connor Howard's got a good place there. He's in a very nice, as we see the middle markers coming through. Oh, Lachlan Oliver trying to get some help there. And I think Eves is going to make it. We've got a chase group of 3 at the back versus the Armada out at the front of only 5 riders now. 2 of them are faulted. It's these guys versus those.
Yes, and the rider going to the front now is the rider of Jonas no, it's 148, the rider of Jack O'Rourke. Jack O'Rourke leads out. Connor Howard is the one there in the orange colours. He's the one who's gone to the front. He'll come around to get 2 to go. Where's the back markers? They're still coming, but they've got to come quicker than what they're coming now. Down the front straight, 147, Connor Howard. He leads out from Jack O'Rourke. Then further back they're going nicely also is Nicholas Ablett. Jonas Shillington also there with the rider of Dylan Rogers, and the back markers are starting to charge. I think they've left it too late. I think it's Connor Howard in the orange that might take out the wheel race.
His lucky socks are working overtime. Can he hold it out? 1 lap to do it. He looks over his shoulder. There's no point in looking. They're going to be coming. And are they coming? There they are. Jonas has got it now. Alex Eves as well. But Connor's still leading the way. Howard's going to win it. It's a race for second. Howard's coming. Now Eves. Jackie's moving as well. Jackie's going to hold on for second. Connor Howard, winner of the wheel race. Jack second, and the Scratchy gets there for third. Alex Eves can hold his head. He dug so hard. He had no help until right at the end. What a ride, though. You can't doubt. Connor was wise. He sat the wheels early, and he launched it with 2 to go. He suffered all the way to the line, and give him a round of applause. Connor Howard!
When you look at it, he was off 210 metres. He was the sole rider off that mark. He had to make up 50 metres to the group out in front of him. So he had to do a lot of the hard work to get onto that group. And then with a lap and a half to go, he decided, I'm going to go solo. They chased him. Jack O'Rourke was the first one to move. But then it was the rider of Connor Howard that is saluted in the under-17 wheel race for 2021 here at the Silverdome, and we're going to move on with the presentations of the wheel races for the under-13s, 15s and 17s. We've seen some great racing. We've still got some great racing to come, of course, with the men and women's wheel race finals. Here at the Silverdome, exciting racing. Then we go back to scratch races for the juniors. Invitation Karen, that's going to be exciting. The Karen's always a great race with the sprinters, the very fast man on the track. An invitation Italian Pursuit on the program. a women's invitation, Karen as well. Then we go to our scratch races. But shortly the presentations will take place here in the main straight for the 13s, 15s and 17 top three, thank you, in each of the wheel races. Top three to present over here to the presentation area. So Lindsay Burke, the patron, is over here. He's got the money in his hand. Lindsay. Lindsay, I tell you what, how many years have you been involved here with the Launceston City Cycling Club?
Well, I first was a member 58 years ago.
58 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, he was a member of the Launceston City Cycling Club. He's their patron now. He loves his bees, that honey. I tell you what, he likes that honey. But we're going to have the under 13s, followed by the under 15s, and then the under 17s. Ladies and gentlemen, the under 13 wheel race presentation. In third place, she's a youngster. She hails from Burnie. Put your hand together, Rory Stratton. In second place, Noah Blaisley. Noah Blaisley, second place for Noah. And the winner, he come from 20 metres from the south coast, Luca Schmidt. Well done, Luca. A nice sash is going to be now presented to the winner. Not quite the right way, the other way around, Luca. That's the way. What-do-you, hands in the air, come on kids, hands in the air, ladies and gentlemen, our three place getters in the under 13 wheel race. Now all up together for a nice photo, that'd be nice. They're only youngsters, but their names you put in your book for years to come. Lucas Smith, Noah Blaisley and Rory Stratton. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation for the under 15s. My apologies there. There are two riders that are just grabbing their masks, so we will be underway very shortly with the wheel race presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation for the wheel race for the under 15s will now take place. The prize money will be presented by Lindsay Burke. In third place, a congratulations to Chase Haynes. In second place, may I present to you Albie Clark. In first place, and the 2021 Launceston winner of the wheel race under 15s, Lucy Oliver. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation to the under 15 wheel race podium.
Our under 15s, Lucy, Albie and Chase. Moving on now to the under 17 wheel race, and what a thrilling event it was. In third place, he rode from the mark of 10 metres from the city of Burnie, Alex Eves. In second place, from Mersey Valley, Devonport, he rode from the mark of 260, Jack O'Rourke. And the winner, he was in no man's land at the start. He come off the mark of 210 metres. Put your hands together for Connor Howard. A nice sash being presented here to Connor. Hands in the air, boys, come on. Our wheel racer place getters, ladies and gentlemen, Connor Howard, Jack O'Rourke and Alex Eves. Take those masks off for a photo. 3 young talented riders in the under 17 age category. Well done. Just a quick one here, Connor. Pop down here. Now, how old are you, young fella?
14.
14 years of age. Are you a mountain biker?
Yep.
I thought you might have been a mountain biker like young Jack Hadley. How long have you been actually riding on the track for?
This is my second season, I think.
Second season on the track. And what do you enjoy more, track racing or mountain biking?
Track. Probably.
Track. So how do you go on a mountain bike? Do you go as well on a mountain bike as you go on a track bike?
Yeah,
He does. He goes well on a mountain bike as well. Great ride there by Connor Howard, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the under 17 wheel race for 2021 here at the Silverdome. Some big events coming up, so strap yourself in, ladies and gentlemen. Marshalling area, thank you for the women. Marshalling area for the women in the wheel race. Marshalling area. A big field here of 20 riders in the women. Big wheel race coming up for 2021 here at the Silverdome. 3 scratch riders, they've got their work cut out, 250 metres. They've got 5 riders on 250 metres over the 7-lap journey. I tell you what, they'll have to work very well together. Alex Manley, Georgia Baker and Christina Clonan. Their first task, Paul, we get out to Lauren Perry, the winner of the Hobart wheel race on 40 metres. 2 riders on 60, Chloe Moran and Sophie Edwards, the 2 South Australians. Shannon McCurley on 60 as well. Katrina Chung Orr off 80. Meg Marker on 100. And then we go out then to some of the Canadian in Liz Ann Wilmot off 190. Dianca Blinko off 190. Jessie Sawyer off 190. And Emma Stevens off 190. Then Bendigo Bailey, as you call her, Paul, off 210 along with Amalia Langham. And then those 5 riders on 250. Amy Wright, who's won a wheel race here at Launceston. Susan Straits, she's won the St Helens and Rosebery wheel race. She's won Masters wheel races. Emily Walker, who showed good form early on in the program. The youngster in Felicity Wolf and Heffernan. And Eugenie O'Rourke. Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, you can flip a coin on this one. I don't know whether the power's in the back mark or the leaders. I think it's equally balanced there. The gaps are going to be, well, it's coming down to the last lap. Won't be decided until after the bell. What an amazing statement that is. Ladies and gentlemen, normally we introduce the individual riders one at a time, but I had noted with the race organisers that the numbers are out of sequence, so we're going to introduce them in handicap group marks. So the first group mark handicap, we're going to name them all and they're all going to come out. Please give them a round of applause. Your 250 metre riders, Amy Wright, Suzanne Straits, Emily Walker, Felicity Wilson Heffernan and Eugene O'Rourke. Give them a round of applause, the mighty Limit Riders.
The 210 riders, we've got 2 riders on 210. From the city of Burnie, we've got Amalia Langham and the local rider, Belinda Barley from Bendigo. They're off 210 metres.
The next group to come out is your 190-metre riders. Lizanne Wilmot, the Canadian. Danica Belinko from Queensland. Jessie Sawyer, the local girl. Emma Stevens, 190 metres.
By herself on 80 metres. From South Australia, Katarina Chung, all off 80 metres. Meg Marker, 100 metres. First Meg Marker from and then Katarina off 80 metres.
3 riders will take the 60-metre mark. Chloe Moran, Sophie Edwards and Shannon McCurley representing Ireland. Ian, please introduce the 40-metre rider and our scratchies.
The 40-metre rider, she won the Hobart wheel race yesterday in the scratch race. Lauren Perry on her home track here at Launceston. Then we go further back here to the 3 scratch riders. All class riders, all Australian representatives, and we've got in the black colours Alex Manley, Christina Clonan and Georgie Baker. They've got a big job to do. Can they get up from scratch in the 2021 Launceston wheel race? Look at the limit markers. They've got the scratch markers in sight here. On the front there, we've got the rider of Emily Walker. Sitting behind there is Susan Straits, I can see. The youngster there in Felicity Wilson-Heffernan is the last of those 5 riders. But I tell you what, if they work hard together for 7 laps, they're going to be hard to run down. Amelia Langham and Belinda Barley's got to try to make up that 40-metre gap to get onto the back of those. Then we've got a little group there as well with Emma Stevens, Jessie Sawyer, Denka Blanco and Liz Ann Wilmot. Nearly all in readiness, not long before the start of the 2021 Launceston wheel race. Can the backies get up? 5 riders on limit. Riders, attention! They're on their way in the 2021 Launceston wheel race and getting away from the 250-metre mark. Got Emily Walker, Susan Straits. Then further back then, we've got the rider of Amy Wright. And look at the riders there, Belinda Barley, but getting away quickly. Emma Stevens is doing a great job there. She's about to get up to those 2 riders. Emma Stevens has got Denka Benko. Then further back to Jessie Sawyers and Liz Ann Wilmot. Where's the 40 metre? And there's Shannon McCurley. But the back markers, they've been led along there by Lauren Perry. Lauren Perry off the 40-metre mark has been joined by the 3 scratch riders.
Yeah, they've called it, they're 7 together now and they've worked it out, so they've got their 7 trained, but have a look at the limit riders, they've barely lost at anything and they're only got a short road to go. You see the lead rider, Suzanne there, Walker's in trouble and they're down to 4. The middle markers are well organised and they're coming with great pace. The back markers have finally got it going and what a train they've got.
Certainly a big trade, but look on Susan Straits. She's doing a big turn there with these front markers. The back marker's got a huge job to do. She swings up Susan Straits, coming down the front straight. 3 laps to go. And on the front seat, the rider there at number 125 is Felicity Wilson-Heffernan. Oh, then around the outside goes the rider of Deanka Blanco, Jessie Sawyer there, along with Liz Ann Wilmot. Where's the back market? It's now going to be the rider of Lauren Perry doing the heavy lifting for the scratch rider. Down the back straight, but in the front straight with 2 to go.
Felicity looks the best place there. Watch the rider in green. She looks great. Amy Wright as well. It's Felicity versus the Scratchies, and I don't think the Scratchies got time to make it up. Felicity's out of the saddle. She's not waiting for anyone. She wants to be the wheel race champion. Can she do it? Coming into the bell. Amy Wright's going to get the wheel as well. She might come around.
Won the under 17 wheel race last year. Felicity Wilson-Heffernan, Amy Wright. Then further back to Eugenia Rook, Les Wilmot, Amy Alexander Manley charging home, but the youngster, she's gonna, Amy Wright boxing on, but Felicity Wilson-Heffernan puts her hands together. The youngster, she's taken out the Launceston wheel for 2021. Getting up for second, Amy Wright. Lasting for third, Eugenia O'Rourke. Further back then there to Liz Ann Wilmot. They've been followed in by Georgie Baker, Alex Mandy, Jessie Sawyer. Then further back to Chloe Moran and Shannon McCurley at the conclusion of the women's wheel race for 2021 here at the Silverdome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll grab Felicity. Felicity, if you can ride straight, that'd be fantastic. Really appreciate it. Felicity, we're watching the replay right now. Well, we saw it a moment ago. The hand went in the air. You looked back at one stage and went, they're a lot further from me than I am to the line. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? You held out the Australian team pretty much and did such a great job.
Oh, nah, can't believe it. Yeah, mind blown. Nah, buggered.
Well, Felicity, we saw you yesterday and you were so close to winning Hobart. You could smell it, you could feel it, but today there was no denying it. The riders in front of you gave it absolutely everything, knowing that they couldn't wait at all.
Yeah, nah, we knew the groups behind would be coming fast, so we knew we just had to get up and go and try and hold on. Didn't sleep much last night thinking about Hobart, it was burning and I wanted to win today.
Well, this one's going to burn for a while, but in a different way. The burning in the legs will disappear and you'll never be known as just Felicity Wilson ever again. You are the winner of the Launceston wheel race.
Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone for putting it on too, and the crowd for coming. Great.
See you on the podium not long from now. Ladies and gentlemen, that, as we predicted, was unpredictable. You saw Georgia Baker come in and cross the line, so close to catching Lizanne Wilmot there as well. Amy Wright had her chance. She couldn't hold Felicity's wheel, but she held on for second. That was brilliant as well.
Certainly was the youngster, young Felicity Wilson Heffernan, of course, just up from the under-17 age category when she won a wheel race as an under-17 rider, but nothing like this when you take out a major wheel race at the Tasmanian Christmas Carnival as a youngster, and many youngsters have won wheel races off a handy mark. Of course, she won't be on that mark again in the future, and I'm sure her handicap's going to be trimmed for tomorrow at Devonport and then also at Burnie. Next up, we've got the big one. Not that that wasn't the big one, the women's. We've got the men coming up now. Equal prize money for both men and women. Riders rolling around. We'll be introducing you from the mark. Getting their briefing over there. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to introduce the field to you now for the men's wheel race for 2021. I tell you what, he's an excitement machine. He's going to ride off 250 metres. Jack Hadley, ladies and gentlemen. Off 240 metres, the youngster in Flynn Ritzma, and the very cagey Simon Price will ride from 240 metres.
He's excited us all night off 220 metres in the yellow, Paul Butler, and also one of the riders who was so strong in Rosedale as well as yesterday, the rider of Hayden van der Ploeg off 210 metres.
Of course, last year's winner of the Burnie wheel race, Campbell Palmer off 200, off 190 metres, Josh Hannigan off 190. Then we go back to the 140 metre mark of Michael Shipley, the paracyclist from Queensland, and off 120 metres, Dalton Stretton, number 22, being in great form.
We go back to what is just a plethora of national titles and national medals and UCI World Cup medals. Let's start with Liam Walsh off 80 metres. Ollie Blendon, the Omnium silver medalist off 60 metres. The world record holder of the junior kilometre and the national 1 kilometre time trial champion, Tom Cornish off 50 metres.
Great riders off 30 metres here. We've got Graham Frisley, the youngster from the Brunswick Club. Matthew Richardson, who rode for Australia at the Tokyo Olympics off 30, and also the Queenslander in James Moriarty. Paul, you'll introduce the 3 scratch riders.
The 3 scratch riders truly need no introduction here in Tasmania, but we have the winner of the Hobart Wheel Race, Jensen Plowright, the rider who has won the National Road Time Trial, Luke Plapp, and ladies and gentlemen, going for 3 years in a rowish, ladies and gentlemen, your local hero, Josh Duffy! We apologise that there was a typo error. It's not going to make a problem here, but Oscar Varney, ladies and gentlemen, is off 210. He's riding as rider number 43. We've fixed that on the paperwork and we're pretty close to a start here. This is the Launceston wheel race for 2021. Just also noting, it's all correct with the commissaires, but the paperwork did have a few minor errors. That is corrected and the riders are on their correct marks. The flags are in the air. Riders, attention! Underway for the 2021 wheel race here in Launceston, and Butler leads the way. Watch for Jack. He's got a lot of work to do. Price is trying to coordinate him. Then we see the 4 riders coming through. We go back as we see the rider Michael Shipley moving very nicely. Dalton in there with a hope. Now wait for the scratchies, and Tom Cornish leads the way, but he's waiting to get some more help.
Look at these 4 out in front. They're going nicely. Paul Butter, Simon Price says swing up, Paul. But look at the rider, Oscar Varney in the black colours. He's made contact with the 4 rider. Looking back at the scratches, they've caught this group out in front. Tom Cornish, he's got on his wheel there. Matthew Richardson, also there as the rider of James Moriarty. But the back riders, they've made contact. But in the front straight, Simon Price, he's gone for home with 4 laps to go.
Price, he's not waiting for anyone. He's got Reese on the wheel. They've got a good grip. But here comes the train. And the train has some scratch riders lined up. Maxie Richardson things up now. We see Moriarty up there now. But Price is burying himself. 3 laps to go. The front group, the back group is splintering.
Simon Price, he's giving everything. He swings up there. The youngster in Flynn Respa on his wheel there is Oscar Varney. Hayden Van der Ploeg at 3rd wheel. Down the back straight, and the back markers, they're still coming. 2 laps to go. 2 to go. Flynn Respa on his wheel, Oscar Varney. Hayden Van der Ploeg. Campbell Palmer. Here comes Graham Frisley. Graham Frisley and James Moriarty.
Jensen Plowright is on the move. Plowright's coming, but Jack still hasn't moved. Plowright's coming. Where comes Duffy's in trouble, but Jack's starting. Jack's starting now.
I tell you what, he comes to Josh Duffy. Can Duffy win his damn wheel race? Down the back straight, Graham Frisley. But it's going Campbell Palmer. He won the birdie with Graham Frisley. Frisley starting to flash home. Palmer on the inside. Frisley, Palmer. Oh! I think he got it. Graham Frisley maybe just ahead of Campbell Palmer. Will go to the camera. Frisley thinks he won it. He came hard down the outside. He's put his hands in the air. He's punching the air, Graham Frisley. I'm not so sure yet, Frizzer. I'm not sure whether you won it. He reckons he's won it. Campbell Palmer, he won the birdie wheel race. I thought he had that one stitched up as well. We're gone to the camera.
They are looking, and it's not as clear as Frisley believes. Oh, I just saw the slow motion. Frisley's wheel has gone up in the air, and I don't think that's helped him. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are holding, we are waiting. They have it to 2/1000ths of a second today. They can split the difference. And, oh, you will have to wait. And Frizzly will have to wait because he believes he got it.
He did believe he's got it. And of course, it's always the old trick is to throw your hands in the air. We just got to wait. No announcement yet. Looking, looking, looking. Campbell Palmer, the youngster, he won the 1,000 metres and the wheel race, the 3,000 metre wheel race at Burnie last year, the youngster. He looked to be the winner in the home straight, but Frizzly flashed at him. But did he flash fast enough? Graham Frizzly, he was right. He got up on the outside to take it out from the Burnie wheel race winner of 2020 in Campbell Palmer. Graham Frizzly, come around, we'll have a young chat to you, young fella. He hails from Bacchish Mars in Victoria. He used to be a member as a junior with the Ballarat Sebastopol Club. He's now with the Brunswick Club. He's over in South Australia, over there with the Podium Potential Academy. He'll roll around to the front straight. He thought he won it. He punched the air, but by gee, looking at that photo finish, there was nothing in it. There was a hair. He's looking very relaxed, but he's got to be very happy. $2,000 to the winner. He'll come down the front straight now. We'll have a quick word to Graham Frizzly. He's happy. I've been calling this young fella since he was a junior. And today, Frizzer, geez, you were confident when you punched the air.
Yeah, I thought I had it. It was an awesome race, yeah. Came down to the last centimetre, really. I
tell you what, those limit markers, I didn't mess around. 250 metres, they went from the go, and it really made it hard for that back group.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They got together and they worked really well. There was still a big group of them there at the end as well. So I had a bit of traffic to get around in that last lap. So, yeah, it was pretty hectic, but I thought the scratch boys were going to be coming, but full credit to the boys in front of me.
But you went by yourself. You had, of course, James Moriarty, had Jensen Plowright and Josh Duffy, but you decided to go by yourself.
Yeah. Well, I saw the limit markers right in front of me, so I figured, yeah, if I get across them, I'll have a good chance of winning, so I'll just do that.
Is that the biggest win of your career?
Oh, it'd probably be up there. I've been coming down here for a few years now, and this is the first one I managed to win. Got second in this race 2 years ago, I think, or 2 or 3 years ago behind Josh. So that was it was pretty close as well. So I'm happy this one went my way.
You've done what Jensen Plowright did to Sam Welsford. Jensen Plowright stopped Sam Welsford for winning 4 Burnie wheel races. You've just now stopped Josh Duffy for winning 3 on end.
Yeah, I'm lucky he's just moved out of the house that we were living in together, so.
Okay, your ladies and gentlemen, your winner. He hails from the mainland, Graham Frizzly. He's off scratch tomorrow, I've been told. Official margin, 7/1000ths of a second. 7/1000ths of a second. With this magnificent timing here we've got and results from Wim. Magnificent to be able to, you look at the photo finish camera and it looks like it's a dead heat. But when you go to timing, how close was that?
If we can call the place getters over, we'd love to get the presentation going for the riders on the podium for the wheel race. The top 3 riders are required for presentation, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation for the wheel race of 2021 brought to you by the City of Launceston will now take place. Presenting the prize money will be the Mayor of the City of Launceston, Albert Van Zetten. In third place, and the winner of the third place prize money, Eugenie O'Rourke. In second place, riding off a mark of 250 metres, Amy Wright. In first place, the winner of the first place prize money and the 2021 Launceston wheel race winner, Felicity Wilson Hafferton. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in congratulating your wheel race podium for 2021. Congratulations to the podium. We look forward to seeing you guys race again. What a great spectacle it was. The presentation for the men's wheel race for 2021 will be taking place very, very shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Mayor of Launceston, Albert Van Zetten, to do the presentation for the men's wheel race for 2021. In third place, he rode off the mark of 190 metres, Josh Hannigan. In second place, he hails from Burnie. He won the Burnie wheel race last year. He finished second today off 200 metres, Campbell Palmer. And the winner of the 2021 wheel race, he's based over in South Australia now in the Podium Potential squad. He rode off the mark of 30 metres, Graham Frisley. Other way around, Frizzler. Hands in the air, boys. Come on now. Place getters, ladies and gentlemen. Graham Frisley, Campbell Palmer and Josh Hannigan. All up together, boys, for a nice photo. A great wheel race and three very, very talented young riders. Graham Frisley, the youngster, the 17-year-old in Campbell Palmer and Josh Hannigan. Thank you very much to the Mayor for doing the presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get one more look at them. The King and Queen. Ladies and gentlemen, Felicity and Graham, please take the podium. We'll get a very quick word. Albert, would you mind hopping up with them and congratulating our champions for 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you your wheel race winners 2021, Launceston City. So earlier we spoke about the race itself. It's probably now is the opportunity just to acknowledge a few people and thank a few people.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Mum and Dad and my coaches and just everyone who's got me here. And it was just the people around me in the race today. It was so great. They helped me so much. But yeah.
Well, I heard you, as I brought you over the second time, you said this is just nuts. You couldn't believe it. So a delighted winner. And Graham, likewise, I know there's a few people you want to thank.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just going to be much the same. Thanks to my parents, thanks to all my teammates, thanks to everyone who's supported me through this journey, my coach, and yeah, everyone who's given me this opportunity to come down here.
Day 2, more to race. Look forward to it. Would now like to invite the riders for event number 39 of the program, and that is the under-13s. They've certainly delighted us right from the start of the carnival. The wheel race was absolutely sensation. It is a bit of time just to get them over to the start, and then we'll be back on track for the program. Event number 39, the under-13 scratch race over 5 laps.
So under 13s, scratch race, 5 laps. So B grade gets a start. So you can see that young Rory Stretton has got a start. So this is a bit of a handicap scratch race. So Rory is on her way with 5 laps to go. Next rider, no doubt, that'll lead will be Noah Blaisley in the blue colours. So she'll nearly get a lap start here, Rory, I'd say. Not quite a lap start, but I think she'll get at least a lap start from the back marker in Luke Schmidt. Here comes young Noah Blaisley down the front straight. And the back marker here is on his way now, but here comes young Rory Stretton. She'll get 4 laps to go. 4 to go here for Rory. Just riding nice tempo. Hasn't gone too hard, too early. In the blue colours, we've got Noah Blaisley. That's him going up on the top bend now and the back marker. Luke Schmidt is about to make contact here with young Noah Blaisley. Coming around with 3 laps to go. 3 to go this time, and out in front, she needs all the encouragement she can give her, ladies and gentlemen. Young Rory Stretton. Keep it going, Rory. Of course, we've seen her 2 brothers, Mitchell and riding very well today in the under-15s, and Dalton in the senior events. Young Luca, he has a look across the track, young Luke, and you can see that he can now possibly see the leader there in Rory Stretton. They're nearly both in the same straight now. They'll come in and get 2 laps to go. She's starting to get tired here as Rory Stretton, so she needs a bit of encouragement here. Come on, Rory, keep it going. 2 laps to go. Because the back marker, he's got a lot of work to do here, young Luke Schmitz, but he's in hot pursuit, this young fellow. Then further back to young Noah Blaisley. He's still fighting on. Well done, Noah. But down the back straight, a lap and a half to go, and it is Rory Stretton. Rory Stretton. Young Luke Schmidt's about to make contact with Rory, but Rory will ride right till the end. They'll come and get the bell. He's a class-active young fellow in the under-13s, and he gets under the back wheel here of Rory Stretton. So Rory leads out. He's not going to be kind. He says, I want to win another race. So around the outside he goes, the boy from the South Close Club, Luke Schmidt. The bell sounds there for young Noah Blaisley, but down the back straight, he's gone for home. But look at young Rory Stretton. She's still pedalling strongly, this young girl. But up on the top bend, and he's going to add another win to his already impressive carnivals here in Tasmania. He'll come down and take it out, young Luke Schmidt. A great ride here by young Rory Stretton. Well done, Rory. You've lost a great ride for second, and Noah Blaisley's come home late to be third. That's the under-13s. They've really put on some entertaining racing for us today, the 3 riders.
Yeah, that was event number 39 on the program. We're moving into event number 40 on the program. There is a slight amendment. Many know that there was a fall in Hobart involving a couple of the sprinters. So on your program, event number 42 and 43, which are the Kirin Heats, have now been deleted, and it is a straight out final. So they will be in event number 48. So attention sprinters from the Kirin Heats 42 and 43. They have been deleted. It is a straight out final for event 48. The next event, the under 15 scratch race. It says here on our program, the B graders get a bit of a head start. How much of a head start? I'm not too sure. What do you reckon, Ian?
I tell you what, they didn't give the other riders a head start, but just talking about young Noah and Rory, they're both 8 years of age, ladies and gentlemen. They're racing here on the boards at the Silverdome. 8 years of age, young Noah and Rory Stretton. So, of course, the winner, they're a little bit older, so the other 2 riders are really under 11 riders, but a great effort. But now, as we said, turning our attention to the under 15s. The A grade is Thomas Blaisley and Mitchell Stretton. And also Trace Haynes looks to be in A grade. And the B grade riders, Lucy Oliver, Sybil O'Rourke, Albie Clark, and Simon McKee.
You kind of looked at me a little bit odd there, but that is on the paperwork. We're looking forward to this race. The riders are in the marshalling area. They're just getting a little bit sorted out. You remember Thomas Blaisley, he struggled so hard off a scratch by himself, but this time he's got some companions, so we'll look forward to this race starting, and we'll find out how much of a head start the B graders get on this event, which is scheduled for 8 laps.
So These are the, looks like the first two riders to be sent on their way. This is riders number 8 and number 11. That's Lucy Oliver and Albie Clark. Of course, you've seen them fight out the wheel race. Then a group of 4's been sent on their way, and this looks like Chase Haynes, Mitchell Stretton, also Thomas Blaisley and Charlie Hannigan. So we've got 6 riders, so looks like no Sybil O'Rourke in this event. But here comes the leaders down the front straight with 7 laps to go. And these two riders fought out the wheel race. That's Albie Clark and also there Lucy Oliver. And then back to the 4 riders being led there along with Thomas Blaisley.
It looks like a bit of the Matrix, a bit of a deja vu. These 2 riders out in front, they were out in front for the wheel race. And this time they've got a long way to stay. But 4 of them chasing 2 as we come through, and you see they've given them a fair start, haven't they? So these 2 riders are, I thought they were working together. I thought they were friends, but one of them's just dropped the other rider as a Facebook friend. They didn't come through. Oliver's coming through now, and it's back in there, and they're working well. They've got the 4 riders chasing, though.
Yeah, Mitchell Stretton on the front, of course, the older brother of young Rory, and it's young Mitchell Stretton that leads that group of 4. On his wheel there is Thomas Blaisley. He's been very impressive here in the under-15s, and he's started to up the tempo. That young Charlie Hannigan treading onto his wheel. So looks like Charlie Hannigan is the only one at this stage that can stick here with Thomas Blaisley. Then further back to Chase Haynes and also there Mitchell Stretton.
Yeah, the 2 have separated and they've gone forward. So Lucy holding on to the lead. She goes up and looks for Albie Clark. Albie Clark riding very strongly. These 2 have still over 100 metres lead and 4 laps to travel. The 2 have worked well together, and the gruppetto, they're all back together unto the dislike of Thomas Blaisley there. He's a bit surprised they're holding on to my wheel.
Yes, he's the engine. He's got a few carriages on the back there as Thomas Blaisley, but these 2 out in front, and I tell you what, the back markers are starting to now start to pick up the tempo as the 2 leaders come down with 3 to go. This is Albie Clark and Lucy Oliver, but Thomas Blaisley is about to make contact there with Charlie Hannigan. Further back to Chase Haynes in the black colours and Mitchell Stretton. So all together now, so the last 3 laps is going to be a scratch race.
Yeah, it's all together, and I tell you, Charlie has ridden a very clever race. He's been, except for that moment right there. Everything else was really clever, right till now. And there, see, Thomas gets away and Charlie goes, hang on, I was on that wheel a second ago. Maybe I should have tried to stay on it. I think fatigue has got him. Have a look at Lucy. She's holding in there and they're all coming back. Mitchell's coming back into it now, but Thomas Blaisley, he's coming up to the bell and he's got a gap. He should be able to hold this.
There's no doubt about this talented rider as Thomas Blaisley leads there. Look at Albie Clark. He's got another. And young Lucy Oliver. So they got caught, but they've kicked on. But down the back straight, he's all over a winner, this young fella, Thomas Blaisley. Interest in the minors, though. Lucy Oliver. Now Mitchell Stretton tries to come off her wheel. Then further back to Chase Haynes starting to come home. But he's your winner, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas Blaisley comes down to take it out. Mitchell Stretton will get up for second. And then Chase Haynes for third. Then further back to Lucy Oliver, Albie Clark and also Charlie Hannigan. That was the scratch race, which was a graded scratch race.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the next event on the program, Ian, I am truly looking forward to this one. I'm a master at heart. It is the Masters Wheel Race. So what is a master? According to the UCI, it's 35 years and above, but a Masters 1 is 30 to 35. So I'm curious what they've decided is a master rider. It is both the female and the male riders, and having a look at it, the prize money for this is absolutely massive. That's $1,700 for the winner of the Masters. Incidentally, that is the combined age of the riders in the Masters category.
You're not far wrong there, Paul. I tell you what, there's some handy riders in this. The female company I'm talking about, Courtney McGowan would have made it the third, but we've got Susan Straits and Liz Ann Wilmot, the 2 females in the field. She's Aaron Jones has got a big job to do there from AJ from 10 metres. Then further out to Aaron Misley, Paul Butler and Simon Price, who won the Masters Wheel Race here a few years ago. Then he had 2 falls for the rest of the day.
Yeah, they've done a fair bit of shuffling of the handicap marks from their original marks. Now, I also, as in from their wheel race marks in the men's and women's wheel races. So you'll see that Aaron Jones has gone way back for this, and the lead riders are pretty much on their same marks. So I am absolutely looking forward to it. It's a big race as well, 7 laps. The riders are looking for the handlers. This is going to be one to watch.
Looks like they're being introduced, are they, or not? No. Susan Straits, I can see rolling around to her mark there, Susan, of 210. Joining her, or out in front of her, is going to be Lisanne Wilmot. Of 260 metres, we've got Brendan Simpson-Kitt on 260, Michael Dalton 260, Julian Clayton on 260. Of 220, we've got Ross Jenkins and Matthew Schmidt of 220. Then 210, Suzanne Straits of 180. We've got Lisanne Wilmot, the Canadian, of 110. We've got 3 riders, Simon Price, Paul Butler and Aaron Midgley. And Aaron Jones, I think he'll have to do a Danny Clark here from 10 metres. I know that AJ is a pretty handy rider, but off the mark of 10 metres. I tell you what, I do like the look of the 110 metre mark riders here in Simon Price, Paul Butler and Aaron Midgley. But first of all, they've got to wheel in Lisanne Wilmot and Susan Straits, and then the limit markers. So we have got a scratch rider here, the West Australian rider that's not in our program. So I've got the 3 limit riders out in front here. Julian Clayton on the front of that group in the Bendigo Cycling Club colours. It's over the 7-lap journey. Riders, attention! They're on their way in the Masters wheel race, and getting away from the front mark here is Julian Clayton. He's got for company there the rider of Michael Dalton. Looking back to the next group, and Susan Straits has got, she's got company there in Ross Jenkins and also there. And looking at the back markers, here they come now, Simon Price, Paul Butler and Aaron Midgley. Then further back to the 2 back markers here.
The 2 back markers, Brett, on the wheel there trying to get up. They're going to form a group of 5, but I tell you what, the girls have worked this out, and it is Lisanne Wilmot up with the leaders at the moment, and Jess Sawyer is also, we've got a lead group of 5 leading the way. It's a long way back to Butler and Price hanging in there. The 2 back markers are going to make it to that group, but that's not the front. The money's up here at the moment.
Yes, they come then. It's Julian Clayton. He swings up now. Getting up onto his wheel is Brendan Kit Jones, doing a big turn on the front there. Ross Jenkins, he swings up. And the Canadian, Lisanne Wilmot, she's doing a great job there. She got Susan Straits, Jessie Sawyer there as well. Looking back to the back markers, they've Paul Butler. You see the back markers have joined them, but out in front here, they're going nicely still. Julian Clayton.
The back markers are working well, but they're burning a lot of energy, and they've burnt more energy than this group. I believe this is where the money is, this is where the winner is, and right now Lisanne Wilmot's in the perfect position. She's at the back of that train in 3rd wheel on the pink. They're going to catch the leaders. The back markers might get there, but how much energy have they burnt? I think it's too much. I think they're going to win this one. Lisanne Wilmot, Susie coming up to the lead now.
Yes, they've got the Julian Clayton and also the rider there of Kit Simpson, but down the back straight, Susan Straits goes up. Look at the Lisanne Wilmot. She's a fast sprinter. They come around this time and they'll get the bell. And on the front there, Ross Jenkins doing a turn on the front. About to switch off wheels there is Lisanne Wilmot. Susan Straits gets the bell.
Lisanne's on there, she's a sprinter, and she's kicking away, Lisanne Wilmot, Aaron's coming, Mitchell's coming, Jess gone back, Susan's coming, it's going to be a close one in.
Yes, Aaron Midgley around the outside, Lisanne Wilmot, Aaron Midgley takes it out from Lisanne Wilmot. Susan Straits was 3rd, then further back to Jessie Sawyer, Ross Jenkins, then further into Paul Butler, Julian Clayton, then further back
Oh, what a ride. I thought Liz-Anne Wilmot, but Aaron Misley from the Hobart Wheelers, I tell you what, he saved himself yesterday. He didn't fire a shot yesterday. He saved it for the 1700 here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Misley, give him a round of applause. He's the king of the old folks. 54, okay. Brendan, thank you very much. I'm following the lead here. I've made a pot. Matthew Smithy has won the wheel race, and what a ride. 54 takes it. Ian, every now and then we follow some leads.
And we mess up.
Sometimes.
We make mistakes. We're all human. So it was number 54 that took that out. Matthew Schmitz for the South Australian of 220 metres. Sorry, Aaron Misley, we gave you the win, but it wasn't you. So very sorry to everyone, and sorry mainly to the winner for calling the wrong name.
Yeah, listen, Ian, it's not like me to throw you under the bus, but I followed your lead there. I apologise.
My fault. You are correct, you just followed my lead, and I was wrong.
We'll get over it. Hopefully you will as well. Cheers, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call the top 3 riders from that Masters wheel race. We know they're going to be a little bit out of puff, and we're the most vulnerable riders. We're hurting them. We're bringing them up to the podium. If the top 3 can make their way over to the presentation area, please.
Luckily, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't hear the call. He didn't hear the incorrect call, calling him Aaron Misley. But Matthew, that's a pretty handy prize money for a Masters wheel race.
To be honest, I have no idea what the prize money is, so I'm just here riding my bike, having fun with the kids, and obviously thanks to everyone who puts on the carnival. It's first time for me and the kids, and it's been an amazing 2 days already, so looking forward to another 3 days, I think. So thanks organisers and commissaires, etc.
$1,700 to the winner.
Speechless.
Hey, how was that?
I'm sure the kids have got it spent already. Whoever the sponsor is for today's Masters Wheel Race, thanks very much. That's absolutely mind-blowing. I didn't expect that, and I think we had a really good group that worked really cohesively. Obviously there was no discussion before, but the turns were really smooth and we seemed to drop in nicely, and obviously I've seen this young lady, Liz-Anne, ride in Adelaide 12 months ago, and she's a pretty gun rider, so I wouldn't have backed myself to get over in the line, but I think she's got a few more metres in her legs today than I might have. So thanks everyone.
We're going to move on with the presentations, but Matthew Smith, a great winner, but it was a great Masters wheel race, and he is absolutely gobsmacked to find out that the $1,700 for the winner. In third place, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, she's won wheel races, St Helens, she's won Rosebery, and I tell you what, she's a great Masters competitor. In third place from the 210 metre mark, Susan Straight. Susan is the third place getter. So well done, Susan. Yeah. In second place, originally from Brampton, Ontario in Canada, now with the St George Club in Sydney, Liz-Anne Wilmot. And the winner He said the kids are going to spend the $1,700. He rode from a mark of $220. I haven't got their names right all week, but it's Matthew Schmitz that takes out the first prize. Getting a nice perpetual trophy here being to Matthew. So a nice photo opportunity. Our place getters in the Masters Wheel Race for 2021 here in Launceston. The South Australian in Matthew Schmitz has taken it out. Second place to Lisanne Wilmot. She'll be happy with second place of $700. That's better than the $40 yesterday in the sprint. And Suzanne Straits picks up a handy $300. Fourth place, $200 and $100 for fifth. So well done to the Masters. They say age is only a number. So he loves riding his bike, and that's all. He wasn't worried about the prize money, but he was gobsmacked when he found out it was $1,700.
He was a little surprised, as much as surprised as you knowing his name. It was a big surprise. Yeah, congratulations. This is the next event. As I said, we move on to event number 44, which is the under-17 women's scratch race. This event is over 6 laps, and the riders are on the track as we speak. Apologies. They've got 10 on the board. Although the Chief Commissaire indicated to me it was 6 laps, the lap board hasn't been noted of that information, and it is now confirmed as 6 laps. So I will make a special announcement for these riders to ensure that they know it is 5 laps to go. 5 laps to go.
The Con family, once again, have put the hand in the pocket, of course. Great sponsors yesterday down in Hobart, the Con family. Of course, 2 of the boys used to ride. One of them broke his wrist on his last ride there at Hobart a few years ago. This is the under-17 girls. This is Bethany Boyd on the front. Sophie Brotherton with the nice pink socks on there at second wheel. Then further back, we've got Ava Schmitz. We just seen her dad pick up a handy $1,700, Ava. And she'll be looking to get off the bike and say, Dad, what are we having for dinner tonight? I think we might go to a flash restaurant or something instead of Macca's, I'd say. But they'll come down and get 3 laps to go, and it's Sophie Brotherton. Always rides well here at the Christmas Carnival. Looking comfortable at second wheel is the daughter of Matthew there in Ava. Sophie Brotherton, Bethany Boyd, and Mika Derrico.
Now, I'm going to do a bit of a shout out to Sophie Brovington. I arrived here very early at 9 o'clock today, and Sophie was here already carrying prizes into the area, drinks and everything along those lines. So it's not just a racing, she's also giving back to the cycling community. So I really appreciate when I see a rider like that doing a bit of work and helping out.
Yeah, certainly, of course. You can't, with a club, everyone, it's great to see people putting their hand up. Looking over his shoulder here is Ava Schmitz, and I tell you what, she would like to pick up another $50 to add to the $1,700 her father won. So she's looking over the shoulder with the bell. As Ava Schmitz, about on the outside here, we've got Mika Derrico. Mika Derrico now on the move. It's Ava Schmitz that leads out. Mika Derrico from the Mersey Valley Devonport Club. She goes around the outside of the South Australian and down the back straight. She's been prolific in junior events in Tasmania for many, many years now. And Mika Derrico is going to come down and take out the under 17 from a very gallant Ava Derrick. Getting up for third. Oh! Bethany Boyd or Sophie Brotherton. Was it Sophie? Yeah, I hope so. I know it's your daughter. I said, Mum will be jumping out of her chair. Was it Sophie? She's gone to the camera to have a look here as Mum.
Look, we've got photo finish and it doesn't lie, but when your chief judge is the mother, Beck, she's having a double check and they're making sure of it as well. So we'll find out very shortly who actually got third in that event. It goes down at the photos, and there it is on the board, and Sophie Brotherton took it. She did it, and behind that mask is a very big smile.
$15 in the pocket, Mum. That's for petrol money just today to get her here, okay? So it's petrol money. But Mika Derrico has taken it out from Ava Schmitz, and Sophie Brotherton has picked up 3rd place. Next up, the under-17 boys scratch race, once again sponsored by the Con family. 8 laps, it looks like the journey, Paul, 8 laps. And of course, you were down there yesterday at Hobart having a look, and the Con family, they rang up there for the final event where you'd gone home. And they said, throw another $100 in for a surprise sprint. And I tell you what, it was a great scratch race there, the Aces. Looks like we got, what's this graded? It looks like it's going to be graded. It's A and B. So Jacko, Connor Howard in the B grade, Alex Eves, Nicholas Broxton, Lachlan Oliver, Jonas Shellington and Dylan Rogers have got to chase 3 riders. And I tell you what, they got a lap start. So they'll come around the leaders and nearly caught the back markers with 7 laps to go. They can't sit on their wheel though, Jack. You can't sit on his wheel. He's got it, he swings up the track. So 5 and 3. Can the 5 riders catch the 3 riders?
Over a short distance, and Jack's done the right thing. I tell you, Connor's making a bit of a mistake here. In a handicap, you can't sit the group that's in front of you. But Connor's got to ride this by himself from this point in time. And as long as he doesn't get on, it's going to be fair and square.
Yes, he showed in the wheel race that he's a class act, this young fellow, a mountain bike, but he likes the track as well. But he comes the back markers. They've got a huge job to do if they want to pick back the rider here of Connor Howard. He looks over the shoulder. He's just got to sort of ride tempo now for the rest of the journey. Then further back here, we've got the riders of Jack O'Rourke, and also with him there is a Nicholas Ablett. Looking at the back group, they've got together 3 riders now. The 2 Bernie riders and also their young Lachlan Oliver, as they go to the straight. And this is the rider of Nicholas Broxton that swings up the track.
Well, if they couldn't catch Connor over 8 laps in the handicap, and he had less of a start than he did in this one because he was rolling as they started. He had almost a full lap. I can't see him catching him over 4 laps, but he's had a hard effort throughout the day. He won the wheel race and won it so well, and now he's out by himself. It says 3 to go for Connor, and he's looked over his shoulder. He woke up this morning and went, I'm getting the matching kit, the matching socks, and it's worked well for him so far.
Certainly has. He's more than half a lap up. We look at across here, exactly half a lap up, doing the chasing here. Alec Eves on his wheel there is the rider of Lachlan Oliver. Also there, Nicholas Broxton. But the leader coming into the front straight now. They get 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go, and he's still half a lap up. Half a lap up to this young fella. Can he make it 2 wins here at the Silverdome?
It's going to be closer than I thought. He's still doing well, but have a look at the pace of the back markers with Nicholas Broxton leading the way. He swings up, Alex Eves takes over, and then it's Lachlan Oliver. But the bell's going to ring for the rider out in front. Can he hold it all the way? Howard trying to Connor. He's hurting though. He's hurting a lot. It's going to be a last lap effort.
Yes, he's hurting all right, but he's a mountain biker. Look at Alex Eves. Oh, he's on the charge there, along with Lachlan Oliver and also Nicholas Broxton. But he's home, this young fellow. He's A grade. He won't be riding B grade anymore. He'll come down and make it 2 from 2. And this is young Connor Howard. Comes down to pick up a handy $50. Second place here goes to Alex Eves. Third place there, getting up, was Lachlan Oliver. Then further back to Nicholas Broxton, followed in by Jack O'Rourke. Also there was young Nicholas Ablett. Jonas Shelvington coming across the line now. Under 17 boys. Scratch race, sponsored by the Con family. But once again, it was Connor Howard. He's made it 2 for 2 here at the Silverdome.
Absolute brilliant ride. I think the handicappers were very generous with the B grade lead. It may have caught them by surprise how fast they rode that first lap. They looked up and they're coming, and they let the A graders go. The A graders didn't give up. They fought all the way, and a great race there to come home so strong. Ladies and gentlemen, the next event on the program is an absolute delight of a race. It's an Italian pursuit. But what they've done is they've taken the local club of the City of Launceston, and they have their team. They've spread the riders over juniors, females, and elite riders, and they're taking on essentially everyone else. They've been able to pick their own team. So
the world has taken, it is the world versus Launceston, and the rider of Luca Schmidtke versus Sibel O'Rourke. Now we've got a change there, so we'll bring out that rider and I'll find out. I think it's got Claire Haynes, Nicholas Broxson, Chloe Moran, Liam Walsh, and I can't wait to find out who the last rider is. We'll find out very shortly, but they're taking on Launceston in the Italian Pursuit.
Yes, it could be either Graham Frisley, Jensen Plowright, Luke Plapp. You don't know who they're going to throw in to that. Luke Plapp has gone in. Number 3's gone into the final rider in the All-Stars team, Luke Plapp. Not sure who's taken Poppy Goat's place. You'll be riding against Sophie Brotherton. Not sure who's taking her place. But here, Ian handing out the different colours. So we've now got the team, the All-Stars, or the Australian team. We'll start off with Luke Schmidt, followed by Charlie Hannigan, Bethany Boyd, then Mitchell Stretton, Nicholas Broxton, Chloe Moran, Liam Walsh, and Luke Plapp. He will anchor team number 2, or the All-Stars, or the Australian team, up against the local club, the Launceston City Cycling Club. Noah Blisley, Lucy Oliver, Sophie Brotherton, Thomas Blisley, Lachlan Oliver, Lauren Perry, Zach Gilmore, and Josh Duffy. Always a great event, the Italian Pursuit.
Yeah, look, if you haven't seen it, every rider does a full lap of turn at the front. They build the pace as they go along, and the way the order is set up is that your youngest rider or your weakest rider is your first rider. They go through at the coming through the pursuiter's line. They'll swing up to leave the second rider to do a full lap at the front. You go back to your anchors, and it's the anchor rider that takes the precedence at the end. Who wins out of that? But there is always, if you make a mistake earlier on and you split the team, that can ruin the team. If there is a catch, that also means that the race is over. I'm looking forward to it. Launceston, they train here, they race here, they know the track and they know the crowd, and they know that they're going to do it for everybody here.
Always put on in Italian Pursuit here at Launceston. They always have it on their program. But this is great to see the riders in the local colours. That hasn't been the case in the past, but it's great to see that they're lining up in their Launceston City colours. Always easy to pick up for a commentator. So down the bottom, we've got young Noah Blisley, Lucy Oliver on her outside, then Sophie Brotherton, I can see there, along with Thomas Blisley, who's in great form. Lachlan Oliver, Lauren Perry, Zach Gilmore, and Josh Duffy. Looking in the back straight, they're all lined up against the fence. It's going to be Lucas Schmidt that'll lead them out from young Charlie Hannigan. Bethany Boyd will be third. Then the City of Burnie rider with the fluoro helmet on is Mitchell Stretton. Nicholas Broxton just finished the under-17 scratch race, but he's lined up again, young Nicholas Broxton. Chloe Moran, the South Australian, will be the third last rider. Liam Walsh, the Queenslander, in great form at the Carnival so far, wearing number 15, will be the second last. And the final rider will be Luke Plapp, turned 21 on Christmas Day. And of course, he was part of that bronze medal teams pursuit over there at Tokyo. Of course, the Australian team had the misfortune when Alex Porter, the handlebars gave way. and that probably ruined Australia of riding off for maybe the gold medal. Riders, attention! On their way in the Italian pursuit. That's the order they've got to line up in. And young Noah Blaisley is the one that's got away smartly for the Launceston City Cycling Club. And look, I see they're split up already. And that's what you were saying. It's good to stay together. Look at the Launceston team. They're all stayed together. Bethany Boyd's got to do a big job to try to bring these three back.
Well, the rest of the world, they're leading at the moment, but a team of champions will go down to a champion team, and that's what Launceston are doing right now. The front rider's gone down. That allows them. You can see the rest of the world are well and truly up on Launceston, but they're not together. They're in disarray. Launceston cross now. They're down by over 80 metres, but that's gonna hurt them at the end when this team gets back together.
I reckon they've trained here on the track. Look at the order they're in. They're doing a great job. Sophie Broll, nearly a touch of wheels there, but Sophie Brotherton takes up the running here. Bethany Boyd on the front here now. Bethany Boyd with the All-Stars. Mitchell Stretton there. On his wheel there is the rider of Nicholas Broxton.
Well, the gap came down to 30 metres there. I think you're going to see a change. Here we go. Here we go. The world cross now. Now. There's nothing in it. It's 5 metres and Launceston's coming back.
Launceston's coming back, and Thomas Blaisley, I think he'll take him to the lead. This youngster is up against Mitchell Stretton, but look at young Thomas Blaisley, the Launceston youngster. He's going to swing up the track, and he's going to unleash here the rider of Lachlan Oliver. Lachlan Oliver, Mitchell Stretton goes up the track, but they've got a bit of work to do, the All-Stars.
They've got a 50-metre lead, the Launceston team, but look at the pace of them now. They stretch out. The rest of the world are in bits and bits all over the place. Launceston all together, a champion team.
It swings up and it's now Lauren Perry. Lauren Perry is the rider on the front. She won the Hobart wheel race, then the scratch race. Could they catch these riders? Doing a great turn here. Liam Walsh in second wheel. Chloe Moran doing her best. But in the front straight, Lauren Perry swings up. Oh, she said, go, 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 Lauren Perry. And this is now Zach Gilmore.
Gilmore knows he's got to hold out because Plath is getting itchy feet. They're coming back, the rest of the world. They're back to 40 metres down and they're riding faster. Launceston's got to dig. Duffy goes. He's got 30 metres. Is it enough? Is it enough?
I tell you what, Luke Clapper's got a magnificent time trialer, but he'd have to be a superstar. He looks over the shoulder. He said, no hope. It's going to be the Launceston, and Josh Duffy will come down and take it out for Launceston. Well done to the home team. They're all happy. Luke Platt conceded. He said, we can't get up. But the local team, they trained together, and I tell you what, they did it so well. They stayed in formation until their rider swung up, and unfortunately for the All-Stars, they haven't been training together, and you see that they didn't really stay in formation. But well done, put your hand together for the Launceston Cycling Italian Pursuit Champion, Lauren Perry. She's happy. Of course, she's not as happy as when she won the mixed Madison with Sam Welsford some years ago, and she was the one who dubbed him Wonder Boy.
The organisers would love to see a photo with the team, if the team could make their way, and the All-Stars as well. They'd love to get a photo at the front and represent. Well, I tell you, Ian, I've noticed something, a little bit of extra sweat on the Launceston team. They're proud to wear the jerseys, but in this heat, I think they're pretty keen to get them off as well. They've put them on top of their skin suits, and they are really sweating. They did it for Launceston, and they did it so well. So let's get the group together for a photo. Please bear with us as we organise this photo. It was a great battle, and again, Launceston City Cycling Club has won.
So looking for also the All-Stars, Lauren Perry, sucking in the big ones here as he comes around. Did a huge turn for her. Launceston City Cycling Club. And these three riders, Josh Duffy brought them home. So we want both the All-Stars and also the Launceston City Cycling Club. Lauren, you nearly look as happy as when they won the wheel race by winning the Italian Pursuit.
Yeah, this is tradition. I'm glad that we could win it again for another year.
I tell you what, have you been training together because you look to be in perfect formation? So have you been talking to these young riders and been training together as a group?
Of course, I sent some instructions down from Adelaide and they've been chipping away here. It came together perfectly on the day.
So you become a super coach now.
I wish.
Well done. There's the winning team. The Launceston City Cycling Club here at the Silverdome have taken out the Italian Pursuit. Oh, we got the president is in with the photo. Ian Loft, the president of the Launceston City Cycling Club, getting a photo. And the All-Stars will come in for a photo. All together we're saying, okay. Maybe the back ones stand up onto the podiums, mate. Yeah, stand up on the back. Chloe had to help Lauren up there. We come from 8-year-olds right up to great riders who represented Australia. Also, Luke Plapp with the Olympic Games. So wasn't it great? They defended their title here, the Launceston City Cycling Club. And Lauren Perry, she was as happy as when she wins a wheel race. That was magnificent. But well done to all the riders for participating. Now, Rory, don't run away. You ran away from me yesterday. I want to know something. I was told that you are 8 or are you 7?
8.
You're 8. Now, the last day we were at Burnie. Now, you won a wheel race at Burnie a couple of years ago. Do you think you can win it this year?
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe? Okay. So what school do you go to up there at Burnie?
I don't go to Burnie, I go to Penguin.
You go to Penguin School, do you? So does Mum drive you or do you catch the bus?
Mum or Dad drives me.
Mum or Dad drives you. So what grade are you in?
This year, 2021, I was in grade 2. I'm going into grade 3.
So you're becoming a big girl now, grade 3 next year, eh? Do you like school?
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun.
Well done. I finally got an interview out of her. Rory Stretton, ladies and gentlemen, the 8-year-old. She's a delight, this young lady. Looking for some holders here for the Karen final. Well, we've got Liz Ann Wilmot. She's up against the men here, is she? Oh, this is the lot. This is the light. More holders, thank you. Emma Stevens, Dianca Blinko. Christina Clonan. Liz Ann Wilmot. One more holder. Women's Invitational Karen up next. As we know with a Karen these days, the position you draw, you must stay in that position for the first lap. Bike comes off in the back straight with 2.5 to go. 2.5 go in the back straight. Emma Stevens down the bottom of the track. The youngster Dianca Blinko. They're on their way. This is the Women's Invitational Karen for 2021 here. She's very fast. Youngster here is Emma Stevens. She'll lead out here. That's the order they've got to be for at least the first lap. As you'll see in a Karen, the pace gradually increases till it comes off in the back straight with 2.5 laps to go. So a nice leisurely pace to start off, but Emma Stevens leads out from Dianka Blenko. One would think the rider from the Sunshine Coast there at third wheel has got to be the hot favourite, one would think. Christina Clone, and then further back to the Canadian, Liz Ann Wilmot, as they'll come around this time to get 4 laps to go.
Well, Lizanne Wilmot in the pink bike, she is the former Kirin champion of Canada, but that's Canada. In this race is the champion of Australia. Having said that, at the Olympics, it was a different story. Canada in the medals at the Olympics in the bronze medal position, but as we look now, the pace hasn't quickened. It is 2 laps to go. Clonan does not want to get in mixed up. She's gone straight to the front. Lizanne Wilmot tried to follow her wheel through, but you can see she's been held out by the rider, Emma Stevens. Emma Stevens has the best wheel coming into the bell.
The bell about to sound, and the Queenslander, that's the rider there, leads out, looks over a wheel, Liz Ann Wilmot. Now Emma Stevens switches off her wheel, and Emma Stevens is the one out after this magnificent young sprinter from Queensland. Looks under the wheel, Emma Stevens trying to get to her though, but Chloe down on the front straight, she's going, oh, Stevens coming home hard, but she looks over the shoulder, and flashing home was Blinko. But very, very good ride there in the end. Taking that out was the rider there from Queensland in the rider of Christina Clonan. Christina Clonan rode her from the front and lasted to take out from the Yunker. Dianka Blinko would have been second, and I think you'll find that maybe Lizanne, no, it's Emma Stevens that got up for third, further back to Lizanne Wilmot and Heather May. So she's happy even though she finished fourth. Lizanne Wilmot always waves to the crowd.
You certainly would have to say Christina Clonan did nothing wrong there. She absolutely needed to lead that out, and she came to the front and she said, if you're fast enough to pass me, give it a go. As it was only Lizanne Wilmot that got onto her hip, spent a lot of time in the wind there because Emma Stevens picked the right wheel and defended it. Danica Blenko had a lot of work to do, but she managed to sneak in for second ahead of Emma Stevens. But you'd have to say the Australian champion wasn't going down without a proper fight, and she won that, and she won it proper. You can see the replay as it is a live streamed event going all around the world, and a big thank you to the Con family who are watching in China. They have been the major sponsor of all the junior races, and as you said yesterday, they made a phone call.
Yes, they also sponsored some junior races yesterday and threw in another $100 for the Aces scratch race, just to liven things up. Well, I tell you what, looking forward to this one here, Paul. What a field here in the Men's Invitational, Karen. We have got Matthew Richardson, number 7, represented Australia at the Tokyo Olympics. We have also got Thomas Cornish, the world record holder for the 1,000 metre time trial, a 1:02 at world level. But at the National Championships of Australia, he broke the 1 minute barrier, and Thomas Cornish is a rising sprinter of the future. He'll be riding for Ireland in the future. Number 21, Connor Rowley, a very fast man on wheels. And we've seen at Hobart that number 26, Byron Davies, the rider from Ipswich up in Queensland, also pretty handy sprinter. We've got the paracyclist in Michael Chipley, also renowned for his sprinting ability, and also another young rider from Queensland from the Balmoral Club, number 28 in Ryan Elliott.
Well, 3 of these riders in the benchmark 200 fly are what we call sub-10 riders. And then there's another rider in the form of Byron Davies who is a 10-0. He hasn't broken the 10 from what I know, but a holder is required. And Connor Rowley, he broke it overseas. He's broken the 10-second barrier. Then we look at Michael, who's 1:05 in the kilo. They are all fast and amazing times.
And Ryan Elliott, just a youngster, but he's shown that he's also pretty handy in a Karen. That's him drawing the number 2, but it's Michael Shipley. Byron Davies there. So we've got 3 Queenslanders. 3 Queenslanders. Look at Connor Rowley riding for Ireland now. The motorbike's on its way. So it's Byron Davies. That's the order they've got to stay in now with the Kerens. As the position they draw, it's going to be Davies leads out there from Ryan Britton, then further back to Matthew Richardson. In number 9 there is Thomas Cornish, then further back then we've got Michael Shipley and Connor Rowley.
Yeah, all pure speed riders. And over the distance, they've got 7 laps, so they're going a little bit old school, 2 kilometres for the Kirin. Once they've done the first lap, they are allowed to change position, but in modern day Kirin racing, that rarely happens. So the lineup set for this one, the undisputed fastest rider, Max Richardson, on paper, back from the Olympics, but he's had a bit of a break coming back from Tokyo.
Yes, he has, and of course, things have changed now with the Kirin. There's no head-butting, there's no pushing and shoving like the old days. I remember at the Velodrome in Melbourne, like the Stephen Pates and these guys, they come from the top of the track and give each other a good, healthy bump. They'd lean on each other. There'd be head-butting and all the rest in the old days. But now, it's all changed as they come around this time. And on the front is still Byron Davies from Ryan Britton.
Now, Richardson's trying to open a little gap there, just in case someone tries to come around, he can defend it. But Byron Davies at the front, the motorbike quickens. This is the moment that it's going to come loose and all hell could break loose. The motorbike drops down now. Byron Davies looks over his shoulder. He's waiting for a move and nothing has happened. It's settling in now, coming into 2 laps to go. Richardson backs off a little bit more to give himself some room. Byron's thinking, I might go for it. And should he go for it? Should he go for it? Oh, he should go for it. And he's gone. He's gone. Richardson's in pursuit now. Thomas Cornish has missed it, but he's got in the pursuit. He's in the draft now. Comes into the bell lap. Byron, can he hold it? Can he hold it, Ian?
Byron Davies, he went from a long way out, but look at Matthew Richardson and Thomas Cornish as Davies that leads there. Look at Richardson around there. Thomas Cornish, he'll get a run at Richardson in the front straight. It's Matthew Richardson, Thomas Cornish, but Matthew Richardson took it out from Thomas Cornish. A great ride by Byron Davies to get up for 3rd. Charging home there was Connor Rowley. Further back to Michael Shipley and Ryan Britton. I tell you what, a very smart move there by Byron Davies, but I tell you what, he's an Olympian. Matthew Richardson, ladies and gentlemen, has taken out the Invitational Karen. Matthew Richardson and the rising star there, of course, in Thomas Cornish, a world record holder in the junior 1,000 metre time trial. And if you can break a minute at Nationals at 1,000, he's the rising star of the future. He's also already a star, but I tell you what, he's only really beginning a long career.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final events are a series of scratch races, and we have the men's C grade. This is event number 49 on your program. The men's C grade, this event over 12 laps. Ian, I'll take a break. I'll let you have the entire call.
Thank you very much, Paul Craft, as they come down to get 11 to go. And on the front here is Simon Price. Just a nice leisurely pace. He'll swing up to allow Julian Clayton. He loves that Bendigo Cycling Club kit. There's Julian. Leads them down the back straight now. He's still in the C grade field. Our boy, of course, young Jack Hadley. I think you'll still find he's in C grade, or maybe he has been lifted up to B grade. I can't spot him at this stage. But coming down the front straight, Ross Jenkins rode very well in the swings up the track to allow Oscar Varney to take up the running. That's Oscar Varney in the black colours leading out there from Michael Dalton at second wheel. Aaron Midgley, I've got him right this time. That's Aaron Midgley now at third wheel as they come down in the C grade scratch race. Just a nice leisurely tempo as they come down the front straight. Swings up the track now. There's Michael Dalton to allow Aaron Midgley from the Hobart Wheelers Club down south here in Tasmania. That is the rider there in Jack Hadley, so he still managed to stay in C grade. We'll see what happens tomorrow at Devonport. I don't think you'll find him in C grade tomorrow. And it's Jack Hadley, this young fellow wearing number 46, comes down the front straight with 8 to go. About to swing up. And the rider that took out the Masters wheel race, he doesn't swing up Jack Hadley. He's doing more than half-lap turns. The winner of the Masters scratch race, pocketed $1,700. That's the South Australian there in Matthew Schmidt. He goes to the front now, does the Masters wheel race winner. Nice, comfortable pace at this stage. It looks like it's going to be a sprint home. Wearing number 14 there is Brendan Simpson-Kitt, who takes up the running now. Oscar Varney there, nicely placed at second wheel. Paul Butler in the budget forklift colours when they were used to ride the National Road Series here in Australia, the budget forklift colours. And Paul used to be their mechanic for the budget forklift team. But Oscar Varney leads out of the straight, 6 to go. He'll swing up to allow Paul Butler, who hails from Georgetown, up there on the north coast. And it's Paul Butler. Simon Price there at second wheel. Loves this track here. He was a previous winner of a Masters wheel race here at Launceston, and it's Simon Price that leads them down the front straight. He'll do his turn and swing up to allow Julian Clayton once again to go to the front. Julian Clayton, who rides with the Northern Vets Club here in Tasmania, but a member still of the Bendigo and District Cycling Club there on the mainland. Young Flynn Ritzmer, the under-17 rider, last year, who won the Georgetown wheel race as an under-17 rider. He swung up the track to allow Jack Hadley once again to take up the running. He swings up to allow Michael Dalton, always easy to pick up in that kit, Michael Dalton, as he leads them down the back straight. Hadley hasn't gone to the back of the field, so he's learning a little bit about placing himself in the field now. A little bit green, he's only new to track racing. Swinging up the track was Oscar Varney in the black. He didn't want to be on the front, which leaves Aaron Midgley on the front now. Oh, and now there's a bit of a move here from Oscar Varney. So the pace is on, and Oscar Varney is shot clear down the back straight. Aaron Midgley and the youngster in Flynn Ritzmer in those purple colours is the first one to make a move. They'll come around and get 2 to go. He's gone a long way from home here as Oscar Varney, Aaron Midgley, Flynn Ritzmer, then Jack Hadley and Simon Price on his wheel. So down the back straight for the second last time, and there's Oscar Varney that leads out. Flynn Ritzmer now is the one coming here, and Jack Hadley. He's won everything bar the raffle in C grade. As they come down the front straight, they'll get the bell. The bell sounds. Oscar Varney is about to be caught. Jack Hadley, Simon Price on his wheel, and the Wheel Masters wheel race winner in Matthew Schmidt about to unleash the 17-year-old that takes up the running. Jack Hadley now. Simon Price, the Masters rider. Can he get to Hadley? Jack Hadley, and Jack Hadley wins another race. Simon Price says, when am I going to win a race? I finish second all the time. But it's going to be Jack Hadley that took it out from Simon Price, and the Masters wheel race winner from South Australia in Matthew Schmidt finished up third. Paul Butler was close up, along with Ryan Flynn Ritzmer. But Paul, he won't be riding C grade tomorrow.
Oh, well, we don't know. You may say that. You did point out he hasn't won everything. He didn't win the wheel race. He gave it a go. He gave it a crack. He was in the top 5 in the end. He was across the line. I think he's probably won the chook raffle as well. But again, he doesn't do it with experience. He's doing it with raw effort. And he's learning as he goes, and we're going to see him. He's going to come out of this these 5 days of racing a much better rider, a smarter rider, and I think he'll be having to learn his name. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final event for the women's B grade. It is a 12-lap scratch race, and Amy Wright leads it out ahead of your wheel race winner, Felicity Wilson-Hafferton. On her wheel, Emma Stevens has had a very big night of racing. Suzanne Stratton in the pink. The rider at the front is Eugene O'Rourke, and they do wear the same black, my apologies. So Eugene on the red bike. Then we look at Danica Blinko on the black bike in the black kit. Bendigo Bailey on her wheel. Penny May with the aqua blue helmet in second place at the moment. Jessie Sawyer wearing the black and white. Amelie Langham in the aqua colours, black bike, white shoes. A very, very impressive Emily Walker. She's had a great night of racing. And there's a few riders missing from this final scratch race. I don't notice a pink bike out there. So Lizanne Wilmot has pulled the pin on the night. We are 9 laps out from the finish. So eight laps to see now. Felicity leads the way. Eugene on the wheel, followed by Suzanne. Then it's Bendigo Bailey. Penn in there on her wheel. Back to Sawyer. And then we see the rider of Amy Wright in the aqua colours. Danica Blinko won the first race. Can she bookend the night and get the last one? Emma Stevens also on the aqua colours. Emily Walker right at the back at the moment, and on her wheels is the rider Stevens. Jessie Sawyer leads the way. Amelie, 6 laps to travel. There's been no attacks. They've been, well, let's face it, they've had a tough day of racing yesterday and a mighty tough day. This is the Group Edo. This is basically the leaders of the wheel race. And in here is the wheel race champions, Felicity. Can she get another victory? 5 laps to travel. Now, if they keep this pace the way it is, you'd have to say Danica Blinko as the fastest rider of the group. She proved it in the Kirin. She proved it in the Heart Starter. Bendigo Bailey goes up. Penn comes through and swings up. Susan Stratton hasn't accelerated the pace at all. Emma Stevens moves through. I hate to say it, but at the moment, they all think they're Danica Blinko. They all think they're going to win the sprint. And Danica, now it's not predictable, but she is one of the faster riders. Felicity riding on a high, but you can see she's had her head turned. She's looking for someone to attack. She was waiting for it. Bendigo Bailey, they all go up. Only Amy Wright stays at the bottom of the track, and she's coming through with 3 laps to go. Have they negotiated? See the riders, and I hear the calls from the back straight. Emma Stevens wisely comes up. Emily Walker comes to the front right now. She's holding out Penn, but Emma Stevens had to back out of that. She's gone to the wheel. She's sitting on that wheel in 3rd place. Emily Stevens is trying to get around. She's moving up. It's coming up to the bell, but Emily Walker, she's leading it, and she's got the big gap. Where's Danica Blinko? She's way back. She's in 4th now. Now she's in 3rd. Can she get to 2nd? She's in 2nd, 1 rider to beat, and it is Walker. Can she do that? She won the 1st race, and she won the last race. Danica Blinko takes it out. What a great ride by Walker. She knew that the fastest rider, and all the girls were looking for Danica. Where is Danica? And Emily said, I've got to go. And she started the sprint. I take my hat off to that. She well earned that 2nd place.
Yes, put your hand together for this talented Queenslander, ladies and gentlemen. Danica Blinko. She's now in the emerging academy over there. She's been identified as a sprinter of the future, Danica Blinko. As a junior, as an under-17 rider at the National Track Championships, she won a gold medal in the time trial and a silver in the sprint. So she was identified there as having some ability as a sprinter. And a very, very good, but as you said though, a great ride there by Emily Walker. To finish 2nd, she attacked, she did the right thing. As the riders leave the track now, you can see the replay up there on the big screen, which has been live streamed everywhere around the world. We line up next for the women's, it's the men's B grade scratch race, but we've been calling it the sprinters scratch race because we have got riders in there like Matthew Richardson, Tom Cornish, Connor Rowley, Byron Davies, Ryan Elliott. We've seen those riders in the Keren. Michael Shipley also rode in the Keren. I tell you what, a couple of youngsters here might give this a shake. William Eves and Jack Menzies, I tell you what. And also Campbell Palmer finished 2nd in the wheel race here today. So on the front here is the junior world record holder for 1,000 metres, Tom Cornish. And this we'll call the sprinters scratch race because those riders are world class. Connor Rowley, a gold medalist as a junior over in Switzerland in the Keren, has represented Australia twice. That's him in the black colours going high on the track. Also going up the track was 2nd in the wheel race today by an absolute hair. Number 40, that's the rider of Campbell Palmer. He won the Burnie wheel race last year as a 16-year-old, and he goes to the back of the field now to Campbell Palmer. So this is the sprinters. We call this the sprinters scratch race, and going to the lead now, he hails from Queensland. He rides with the University of Queensland team. He's a paracyclist. That is the rider of Michael Shipley. Going to the front now with a very short turn. He finished 3rd in the wheel race, high on the track in the blue colours, is Josh Hannigan. And Hannigan goes to the back of the field. Byron Davies swung off very quickly from the Ipswich club. So a lot of riders just switching off here quickly. That leaves young Campbell Palmer from the City of Burnie club. He swings off the front. These are the 2 riders I think that have got pretty fresh legs here. And it's number 29 in Jack Menzies, been very impressive. And Menzies leads them down the back straight from Hayden van der Ploeg there in these the yellow colours. And it's the youngster now in van der Ploeg that leads down the front straight with 11 laps to go. 11 to go, a flick of the elbow. AJ, Aaron Jones, is the rider that swings up the track. They're wearing number 37. A short turn there by the paracyclist. A bit of a gap appeared there momentarily, but they've brought it all back together again now, coming to the front straight. Scratch races to finish off a great day here at Launceston. Now there is a big move, and it's one of the riders I thought take the move. This is William Eves. It's up the tempo, so the pace is quickened. Eves swings up the track. He allows the Ipswich rider here in Byron Davies to swing up the track. Thomas Cornish didn't want to be on the front. He's saving himself for the final sprint. And as we speak, The youngsters are the ones setting the tempo, and that's the rider of Jack Menzie who livened things up again. Hayden van der Ploeg now on the front from Campbell Palmer. So we had some City of Burnie riders here. Hayden van der Ploeg swings up, leading him down with 8 to go. Is William Eves. Short turn there by William Eves. But I tell you what, the pace has been solid throughout. Aaron Jones swings up the track, and that allows the big sprinter from Queensland there in Byron Davies to take up the running. He'll be saving himself for a final sprint too, along with Tom Cornish, Connor Rowley, one would think. Out of the straight, and it is Thomas Cornish that swings up. We'll sign Van der Ploeg once again, finds himself on the front, didn't want to be there. Campbell Palmer says, okay, let's have someone attack. And it's Palmer that leads out from the third place getter in the world race in Josh Hannigan in the blue colours. He doesn't want to be there either. He goes up the track, but the pace is still solid. And William Eves has set him alight. Connor Rowley was so impressive earlier on, the sprinter. Riding for Ireland now, a former Victorian with the Blackburn Club, and of course a gold medalist at junior level in Switzerland some years ago in the Keren. Coming down the front straight, they've got 5 to go, and on the front is the rider there of Jack Menzie. Swings up the track. Thomas Cornish, as we said, he's saving himself for that final sprint. Van der Ploeg, he's been on the front lot, has Campbell Palmer. Couple of riders starting to feel the pitch there, including Aaron Jones at the rear. So the pace is still quick with 4 laps to go here. The final event for the B graders, and these two riders have been very impressive. A flick of the elbow by William Eves. Jack Menzie takes up the running. Connor Rowley, I tell you what, he's developing into an endurance rider, this fella. Connor Rowley a short term. Where's the big 3 sprinters? Connor Rowley, Byron Davis, and also there is the Thomas Cornish. They all swing up the track. Well, some of these riders realise they mightn't have the sprinting ability of those 3, so they'll probably have to try to attack, and that's what they've done. This is the rider here of William Eves that says, I'm not going to wait for the final sprint, I'm going to go a long way from home. And William Eves leads him down the front straight. Hayden van der Ploeg on his wheel. Campbell Palmer, then further back, Thomas Cornish nicely placed, and then that's further back to number 29, Jack Menzie. Connor Rowley, I think, has called it a day, but the pace goes off once again, allows Rowley to make contact with the back of the field. They'll come around to get the bell lap. The bell lap, and he's taken a fly around the outside. Connor Rowley, he gets up on the outside there of Thomas Cornish, but Cornish looks so comfortable. Cornish looks over the shoulder. Rowley can't do any better at this time. Cornish looking. Now I'll put the afterburners on, and this class act from New South Wales. This is Thomas Cornish from the Southern Cross Club in New South Wales. He takes it out. Getting up for second there would have been the rider of Jack Menzies, just ahead there of Connor Rowley. Also close up was Campbell Palmer, and also there Jack Menzies. But a great sprinters scratch race there, but he's a class act. This is the rider. Put your hands together for Thomas Cornish, a world record holder in the 1,000 metre time trial.
Well, you can see on the replay there, Connor Rowley really did take it to him. He came from the back, but Tom Cornish defended the lead and accelerated away. So a great win. He did well yesterday in the scratch race, and he's done well again tonight. So the last race for the women's A grade before the final event of the program to conclude what is day 1 of a 2-day carnival, the second day being on Thursday. Please retain your programs, not only for environmental reasons, but it'll save you a few dollars as well. This is the program for Thursday as well, which includes the great event, the Madison, returning to Tasmania. Ian, I know how much you're looking forward to the Madison. It is my favourite race of all time on the track.
Yes, I tell you what, I got the honour of calling the Bendigo International Madison for many years up there at the Tom Flood, and I've also called, as you have, National Madison Championships, and we've seen some great results in the national. But the Madison, we'll be calling it together on Thursday. Of course, we've got the chase periods, we've got sprints along the way. And I think we've got the top team will be Josh Duffy and Luke Plapp, I believe, could be team number 1. But then we've got Graham Frisley and Jensen Plowright teaming up. So I tell you what, we haven't got the final teams yet, but looking forward to Thursday here. A big day, so come along. We've got 3 Madisons, the men, the women's, an invitational, plus we've got Tasmanian State Championships for juniors. That's, we've got the scratch races, eliminations, etc. So a full program here on Thursday.
Now, you think you've named the favourites, but I heard a little rumour that Max Richardson and Tom Cornish both asked, can they ride the Madison? Pair them with an endurance rider. Oh dear, we will have to wait, and so will you, to find out who the teams are and how they play it. It is the Madison. It doesn't matter who the teams are. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be absolutely thrilling, and it's going to be here on Thursday. In the meantime, we're 22 laps out from the finish, and Shannon McCurley, the winner of the points race. Katarina Chung-Orr at the front at the moment. Local girl and the Hobart Wheel Race winner, Lauren Perry. Ali Anderson, the rider formerly from Northern Territory. On her wheel is Meg Marker, now at the front, another former Northern Territory rider, now riding for South Australia. Dahlia Haynes only shortly on the front, and she immediately peeled off in the red at the back of the field at the moment. Chloe Moran, Alex Manley in the black kit at the front. Georgia Baker, how good was she in the wheel race to come home and take 4th place? There's no doubting it. I said it in the scratch race for the women's B grade, but if they leave it at a settled pace, the fastest rider will win, and we've seen it time and time again. Christina Clonan is the fastest rider in this field. She's had an absolutely brilliant night, riding well and qualified into the wheel race, a difficult task when there was only 2 riders off the back. Maeve Plouffer in there, I'll just try and spot her. I did see her earlier, warming up. And there's Maeve Plouffer at the front. Maeve Plouffe leading the way. Now, she showed signs of fatigue in the wheel race qualifiers and really hurt herself. But she's back now. She had a little bit of a break when the final was on. 17 laps to travel. Georgia Baker. Shannon rode the Rio Olympics in the Kirin and then backed it up in Tokyo for the Madison, and she'll be ready to ride the Madison on Thursday night. 16 laps to travel. Christina Clonan comes to the front and she does a short turn, which is what a sprinter should do, just to keep the pace moving. Chloe Moran, let's see what Alex Manley does as she comes to the front. She does a longer turn. Sophie Edwards looks over her shoulder to see Georgia Baker, Shannon McCurley, then Lauren Perry. Then the South Australians have all got together. Katarina Chung-Orr leads the South Australian quartet, followed by Ali Anderson, then Meg Marker, then Dahlia Haynes as we go back. Baker, they're rotating so quickly. It was only a few seconds ago I was saying Georgia Baker is at the front, and lo and behold, rotates Maeve Plouffe. Again, if they leave it till the last laps. Christina Clonan's going to show them how fast she is. And at this stage, there is a lot of fatigue in the legs of all the riders. No one has attacked at all. Manly decided not to pull a turn there. She's gone looking for somebody else's wheel. It's no longer a race to get to the front. It looks like a bit of a race to get to the back of this field as each rider seems to be doing shorter and shorter turns. We wait for someone to light it up. We didn't have to wait long. Georgia Baker says, come on girls, let's race, and game on. 11 laps to go. Georgia Baker, look how much it's stretched out. We are straight line. Maeve Plouffe goes up. They don't want to go on with it. Moran doesn't want to do that either. Lauren Perry says, come on, we're going, and we wait for another attack. The South Australians at the bottom of the track. Alex Manley comes from the sky, dives down like a phoenix. She's going, she's 10, she's 20 metres in front, and she's extending it. The South Australian team's pursuit team is at the front, and they're trying to bring back one rider. Alex Manley, she's honkering, she's getting aero, and have a look, it's a sacrificial lamb at the front from South Australia. They're bringing it back. Alex Manley lit it up when she attacked from the sky. She looks back, and it is still the rider of Ali Anderson. They've settled. We should too. Let's calm down. They hold it together. Anderson still holding it. She realises she's got all the riders, but surely they can't do it for 7 laps. And Katarina, this opens the door. The door is open. Is there a counter move? Shannon McCurley, she doesn't counter it. She sneaks. She soft pedals with crystal cranks away. She's 5 metres in front. She thinks, no, I shall not go. She waits. Sophie Edwards at the front now. Sophie's holding him. Whilst they're riding high, it's a defensive move as they wait to see if anyone can go. And I tell you, Alex Manley, you try once and nothing happens. You try a second time, and this time it's only 5 laps to go. She's opened the gap. It's not the South Australian team's pursuit, it's the Australian team's pursuit. Georgia Baker, Maeve Plouffe, then Shannon McCurley. Having a fight there. Is that Chloe Moran? Chloe Moran's where's Christine and Clonan? Christine's a little bit out of the back at the moment, but this is stretching out, and it's all because of Alex Manley. Shannon McCurley's doing the chase. She swings up. Chloe Moran holds it together. It's teased up as they all come back together. This is stretching. It's like an accordion. It's going out, then it's coming back. There's one more attack. Surely someone's going to go. Who is it? Maybe Maeve Plouffe. It's hard to tell whether that is the rider. No, it is not. It's Chloe Moran, and she's got Meg Markle with her, and Georgia Baker in a great place. Maeve Plouffe is up there. They've gone. The gaps are too big now. We've got 2 riders out and 3 in chasing. Then the bunch. This is not going to stop. We're 2 laps out. The race is on, and who's going to win it? Georgia Baker slots in on Maeve Plouffe there, lining up. Sophie Edwards is in the best position. 11 and a half out. Georgia Baker, she can't do anything. She's just got to go. Meg Marker in a great position. 4th, Shannon McCurley. Then we go back to the other riders. Georgia Baker's running out of puff. And then we look to the rider in 2nd place. And that is the rider of Edwards. Look at Shannon McCurley coming. Shannon can't do it. And then when we look, the 2nd place rider, Edwards. Edwards is fresh. They're all tired. Baker, Edwards, Baker, Edwards, Baker, Baker, Baker! Ladies and gentlemen, she hit the front with 3 laps to go. She held him, and she held him all the way to the line. Unofficially, your winner, Georgia Baker!
Great call, Paul. I tell you what, You've seen some of the best racing you've ever seen here in Tasmania. What a performance there by the A-grade women. An absolute, and there it is, Georgie Baker. It's now official. She's taken out the final event for the A-grade women. The big scratch race, waiting for the placings. That was a great scratch race called there by Paul Kraft. Great to have Paul down from New South Wales for the Christmas Carnival for the first time. Paul's been down here. He'll be calling the Madison on Thursday, giving me a chop out here. But a great ride there. Christina Cronin came late, but Georgie Baker down the bottom, as Paul said. 3 down. Sophie Edwards, what a great ride. They got up for second. Christina Cronin flashed home late for third. There wasn't much between them. Look at the times. Maeve Plouffe. So look at, all in the Australian colours. Georgia Baker, Sophie Edwards, Christina Cronin and Maeve Plouffe. And Alex Manley, she was the one that did all the attacking that kept the pace high. Just wait for Alex tomorrow. She's got her track legs back today. And Alex will be at Devonport tomorrow. A good ride there by Dahlia Haynes for 6th. And Meg Marker, formerly from Darwin, the youngster. That was a great ride there by Shannon McCurley. Was a great ride too. She is a scratch race specialist. The Ireland rides for Ireland. A great ride there by Shannon McCurley. But it was Georgia Baker, Sophie Edwards, Christina Cronin, Maeve Plouffe and Shannon McCurley. Now we've got the final event on the program, a great day's racing here at the Silverdome in Launceston. And this is the A-grade scratch race. The Aces, the best riders in the Carnival, 40 laps the journey. Graham Frisley on the front, the winner of the Launceston Wheel Race for 2021. He got up to defeat Campbell Palmer. Short turns on the front. Take him across the line, the youngster from South Australia. This is Angus Miller that swings off the front. Goes up the top of the track, as you can see. Josh Duffy now. Missed out on making it 3 in a row here at Launceston because those outmarkers kept the pace high, but Graham Frisley was able to get up and take it out. On the front now, Dalton Stretton. He's been very impressive at the Carnival so far. Luke Plapp there. In his kit, he'll be racing in for 3 years for over there in the UK. Luke Plapp, of course, he won the scratch race here last year, did Luke Plapp. Zach Gilmore high on the track. Ryan Schultz from the Netherlands there in the orange colours. Always rides a very, very good scratch race. There's Ryan Schultz. Going a long way from home here is going to be the rider of Hamish McKenzie, the Tasmanian youngster who's really burst onto the scenes, this young fella, by winning a gold medal at the Nationals. And it's Hamish McKenzie that leads out. In hot pursuit there is Ollie Blenheim. Swings up the track to West Australia. Now based over in South Australia with the South Australian Institute of Sport under... So they brought back the leader. Switching off turns very, very quickly. Fast turn there by Jensen Plowright. Swings up the track, as does the rider there of Dalton Stretton. Luke Plapp didn't want to be on the front as well. So they're swapping off very quickly here as they come down the front straight. 34 to go. From the Netherlands, we've got Ryan Schultz that leads out. Swings up to allow James Moriarty from the Balmoral Club up there in Queensland. Graham Frisley swapped off very quickly, as does Liam Walsh, which once again leaves Ryan Schultz in the front. They're only doing short turns on the front. The sprinters were in the other scratch race, but now James Moriarty has decided to go on the attack. James Moriarty, he's got for company there Oliver Blenheim, but Blenheim didn't want to go on with it, so he didn't have company there, did James Moriarty. Luke Clapper's doing the heavy lifting, bringing these the main group back to these two out in front. Swapping off there Dalton Stretton. Now Zach Gilmore. This young fellow created history up at Bendigo a few years ago when he won the Golden Mile and the Golden Opal. The only rider ever to win the big double up there at the Bendigo International Madison Championship. Great to have Zach Gilmore back here racing on the boards here in Tasmania. Ryan Schultz, Josh Duffy on his wheel. Flick of the elbow there by the rider from the Netherlands. Josh Duffy, a short turn. Short turn there by Graham Frisley. A short turn there by Hamish McKenzie. So they're swapping off like cards. Unbelievable as they come down the front straight. Luke Plapp Dalton Stretton's been very impressive the first 2 days of the Carnivals here. Ryan Schultz on the front. No one wants to be in front for too long, but I'm sure there's going to be attack at some stage, Paul.
Yeah, look, they've set out at an eternal pace and it is ready to snap. There was signs and cracks a moment ago, but there are riders that are so fatigued. This is the first time that the front wheel didn't go through, and this is the slowest they've been all race, and this is probably still 48, 49 kilometres an hour.
Yes, and it's James Moriarty swings up to allow the youngster there in Noah Blenheim, just up from the under 17 age category, the young rider from Queensland. So the pace, even tempo now. Well, not as quick as it was a little bit earlier on, but they're coming down. 27 laps to go, 13 down, 27 to go as Ryan Schultz leads them out of the straight, swings up to allow Zach Gilmore to take up the running. Gilmore a short turn on the front. Jensen Plowright, the winner of the Melbourne to Warrnambool, the big road race in Victoria, the Melbourne to Warrnambool. Jensen Plowright took that out, the second longest road race in the world, and Jensen Plowright saluted down there in Warrnambool earlier on in the year. But down the back straight, that's Liam Walsh who swings up the track, did Ollie Blenheim as well. James Moriarty there along. Luke Plapp now takes up the running. Be riding for Innes Grenadier next year. Of course, he'll be teaming up with Richie Port. Of course, we would have seen the tour down under last year when he challenged Richie Port up Wollonga, and one would have thought he could have probably taken Richie Port, but he said, no, Richie, you are the king of Wollonga, and I tell you what, it did him no harm. Ryan Schultz, he's the one would attack. Look at Jensen Plowright, a flick of the elbow. It's really split this field up now. We're going to lose some riders, I think, at the back are starting to really find it hard. This is one of the riders there from South Australia in the young, down the front straight though, Zilmore has got him going. Jensen Plowright, Ryan Schultz, Zach Duffy. Down the back straight though, so a few riders, they make contact again, but Dalton Stretton is starting to stretch out now. The legs are starting to scream because the pace has been kept high. They're switching up quickly. Luke Plapp, he won the scratch race here last year, the final event. Dalton Stretton takes up the running now. He swings off very quickly as well, as does the rider there of Graham Frisley, Jensen Plowright. Josh Duffy, the local rider, now takes up the running. Oh, it's swapping all over the place. Luke Plapp, Ryan Schultz, Zach Gilmore, bit of a gap there to Dalton Stretton. He swings up. Ollie Blenheim now goes across there to fourth wheel. To third wheel now, the West Australian, based over in South Australia currently with Brett Aiken over there at the South Australian Institute of Sport. Gilmore goes up the track, Blenheim goes up the track, Gilmore comes down again, looks over his shoulder. He sees he's got for company, Liam Walsh, number 15. He's been impressive so far, the Queenslander. He goes up the track as well. Pace goes off once again, pace goes off. Coming around with 19 to go. A very, very, very good A-grade scratch race we're seeing here at the Silverdome. Luke Plapp on the front, Ryan Schultz, then further back to the youngster from Queensland in Noah Blenheim. Schultz has been very aggressive when he gets to the front. The rider from the Netherlands, a very, very good junior rider at national level. Short turn there by Ryan Schultz. Rider swinging off, left, right and centre. Leaves on the front there, James Moriarty again. James Moriarty, of course, rides now over in South Australia with the Podium Potential squad, along with the riders of Jensen Plowright and Graham Frisley. They're the next riders that are going to come through and probably be our pursuit team in the future. As Zach Gilmore looks under the arm, he's got for company in Josh Duffy, Dalton Stretton there, Luke Plapp there at third wheel now. No one wants to lead, no one wants to attack and try to take it out. I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Schultz might be the man who tries to take a fly a little bit later on. He did that at the Victorian Scratch Race Championship where he won the gold medal. That's Schultz on the front there now. Dalton Stretton takes up the running from Luke Plapp though, as they go down the back straight once again. A few gaps once again starting to appear now. Plapp on the front. They're starting to hurt some of these riders at the back, including Dalton Stretton. Although they might get back on now, the pace slows once again. They're testing each other out here. Blenheim swings up. Dalton is there. He's okay. He's recovered nicely. So they're all back together again. Pace goes off once again. 15 to go. It won't be long, I think, that you'll see an attack at some stage, because some of these riders are starting to really lactate, and Schultz gives the flick of the elbow. Now, Diff Duffy has missed the wheel, and it's Luke Plapp that leads out. Liam Walsh is there along with Oliver Blenheim, and also Jensen Plowright. Graham Frizzley, the wheel race winner. He's trying to bridge across, but Plapp's gone for home. He's gone a long way from home. 13 laps to go. On his wheel there is Ollie Blenheim. Then further back then to Jensen Plowright. Can they bridge that gap across? Yes, they can. They've brought it all back together again. A lull in the scratch race. They all swing up the track. Where's the counter-attack going to come from? On the front here, going along nicely, Graham Frizzley, Dalton Stretton on his wheel. Great to have Zach Gilmore there. He's at second wheel, riding with the ARA, Sunshine Coast National Road Series team. Ollie Blenheim, the youngster from Western Australia, now based over in South Australia. He swings up the track, which once again leaves Plapp on the front. Plapp, Stretton, Josh Duffy there. He'd like to have a win on his home track. He couldn't make it 3 real race wins in a row, but I'm sure he'd like to finish by taking out the A-grade scratch race. And I know Mum Annie will be there in her seat. She'll be looking to see how Josh goes. No, she's too busy taking numbers. There's Annie. Pace goes off. Dalton Stretton, the flick of the elbow. Ollie Blenheim, he has won a junior Madison, I think at Oceanas, this young fellow with Henry Dietz, I think it was. Plapp on the front once again. Ryan Schultz is the rider in trouble at the back. Also looks like James Moriarty has put the white flag up. Liam Walsh, by gee, I've been impressed with this young fellow on the 2 days. Ryan Schultz trying to get back on though now. Sorry. Off the back for 8 laps. But I tell you what, he finished 4th in the Melbourne to Warrnambool and 4th in the Grafton to Inverell. A great ride there by Ryan Schultz. He's got back on here. He had a nasty tumble for them before the Melbourne Cup on wheels there on the mainland, and he's starting to recover now, but it was a great ride there by Ryan Schultz. Gilmore on the charge, the local rider. Get behind him, you local people. Zach Gilmore. Luke Plapp just biding his time, wasn't too worried about Gilmore being on the front. He's just got a 20-metre lead at this stage. Luke Plapp goes up, Josh Duffy goes up, Dalton Stretton goes up. So this could help Gilmore if he wants to go on with it, because they're looking at each other, the other riders. No, Zach Gilmore says no, too early to go yet with 6 to go. Graham Frizzley goes up the track, as does Ollie Blenheim. Now it's the rider of Jensen Plowright, the Plough. He's taken out the National Road Series for 2021 with 4 events this year at the National Road Series due to COVID. He finished second behind Brenton Jones recently up in Queensland. But now Ollie Blenheim, the youngster from Western Australia. Luke Plapp has got to do all the tracing. He's got Josh Duffy on his wheel. They had a great contest here last year in the scratch race, did Plapp and Duffy. Can they have another great finish here? But Ollie Blenheim, he's gone for home with 4 laps to go. Looks over the shoulder. You can see Luke Plapp, Josh Duffy, Graham Frizzley. Also there, the youngster in Hamish McKenzie, doing a great job, this youngster. Down the back straight, they'll come around this time to get 3 laps to go. Up on the top bend, Blenheim says, no, I'm not going to go for 3. Plapp swings off. Duffy now in front. Pace goes off once again. Graham Frizzley, can he make it a double? Can he win the wheel race and the scratch race? He's at second wheel now. Duffy on the front. Frizzley looking over the shoulder. Liam Walsh just cruising up on the outside. Locked away there, number 20, Hamish McKenzie. Luke Plapp decides to go for a fly. Luke Plapp, he's on the fly. He won the scratch race here last week. But Josh Duffy, he said, I'm going to grab your wheel, as does Graham Frizzley and Liam Walsh. They'll come around this time to get the bell. The final lap here. Luke Plapp, he leads out. Josh Duffy looking over the shoulder. Graham Frizzley, Jensen Plowright around the outside. Plapp down the back straight. Duffy, Plowright, he's getting tired. Josh Duffy got to the front. The local rider, Josh Duffy, heads up for home. He's going to take out the scratch race. Josh Duffy, lancing out in there. Graham Frizzley, but it's Josh Duffy took it out there from Graham Frizzley. Then further back to Jensen Plowright. Nice ride there also by Dalton Stretton at the conclusion of the A-grade scratch race. Ladies and gentlemen, not just for the winner, but put your hands together for all the riders
in the A-grade scratch race. They're put on a show today, but there's your winner, the local rider in Josh Duffy. We've got to thank, of course, our Chief Commissaire, Graham McCure, the other commissaires in Belle Jones, Michael Bailey, and also Kevin Jamison for all their work today as the commissaire. All the volunteers have done an absolute magnificent job. Our judges over here as well. Wim, of course, with all the results and the photo finishes, and the ladies over there with Annie doing all of the registration.
On behalf of TasCarnivals, would like to thank all the riders for being here and the spectators. As we said, the Madison is on Thursday and we cannot wait for an absolute thrilling night right here at the Silverdome. Until Thursday, I wish you a safe travel home and enjoy tomorrow and the next day, and why not New Year's Eve as well.
Yes, it'd be good to catch up. We're going on Thursday, Paul, for the Madison. And of course, Zach Gilmore will be back here riding the Madison. I'm sure Liam Walsh will ride the Madison as well. Angus Miller, of course. But to everyone that's come along today, hope you've enjoyed yourself. Until we see you on Thursday, Ian Maher on behalf of Paul Kraft saying good afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day.